Hello, hello, my lovely sovereign sisters. Make sure I got making sure I got the mic right in front of me so y'all can hear me. Since I'm still trying to get used to having the mic in front of me. I didn't even plan to go live today, but I was playing around on the computer this morning and I found this interview with Princella the Queenmaker and No Fugazi. Also, per usual, do not forget to thumbs up. Okay, please like the live. Okay, we like the likes. Okay, so please don't forget to like, subscribe. Please press that subscribe button for me, and then please interact in the chat. Say hi in the chat. Thank you for waiting on me. I know I was a little bit late. And then if you're watching this after the live chat, please comment so we can have some discourse over the content today. Oh yes, love from Denmark. I actually have ancestry from Denmark. I do. I actually have ancestry from Denmark, so love it, love it. Okay, so we're gonna get right into it. Honestly, I don't understand why Princella keeps doing these interviews and these podcasts with these type of content creators, because she did this with No Fugazi. She also went on Fresh and Fit. She also went on the high something, I can't remember, the two men that they have a podcast. She also went on their podcast as well. They're paying her. That makes sense. So this is what I find really, really funny. Every time Princella does a interview with these people, you can just tell the men don't understand what she's saying. They just nod their head. And then it's if there's a morsel of a talking point that they can try to disagree with her on, they will just keep pushing that narrative to keep fighting against her. They're super committed to misunderstanding her. Okay, so we're going to get right into the video. Just a little forewarning, watching this was painful. Okay, so if it was painful for me, it most likely is going to be painful for you, because this really would have been a very good debate. I feel like I think his real name is Cooley, but I'm just going to call him No Fugazi. This actually would have been a really good debate had he not been so rude and so dismissive. But you will see exactly what I'm talking about, because we're about to watch it right now.
Only live on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to stay active on Facebook for maybe about tier is Hitman, third tier coaching, click.
Hold on. Okay, here we go.
On up our debater for tonight and have her introduce herself. Welcome to No Fugazi Podcast. State your name. Where you from?
I'm Princella the Queenmaker. I'm out here in Houston, Texas.
All right, Princella the Queenmaker out here in Houston, Texas. So Princella reached out to my team and was like, "Hey, I want to do a show." I'm like, "Okay, well, I do debate nights on Wednesdays, and I do, the girl shows on Fridays. Let's do a debate." So we got it. We made it happen. Okay, Princella, let's get a little bit of your background. What do you do? Anything you want the audience to know about yourself, you can go ahead and, speak about your background now.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, I'm a life coach, women's empowerment, and I'm the author of a book called 41 Shades of Men, The Pursuit to Subdue and Use You. Also Love, Men, and Manipulation Decoded Workshop. So I have a background in biology, psychology, human behavior, and things of that sort. And so I teach through those mechanisms.
Okay, cool. And you said, so you have a background in, you said biology?
Yes.
Okay. And you have your degree in that?
Nope.
No degree. Have you ever worked in any fields with practicing in any biology or anything, or no?
No, just the labs at school. However,
just the labs at school.
Yeah,
okay.
my main focus is psychology. So given psychology background mainly, I've been in sales, top sales in every industry I've ever sold in. So on top of that, human behavior. So I've been analyzing that for about 25 years. So no, I don't need a degree for that. I put in over 10,000 hours in each one of these subjects. So I think I'm pretty good to go.
Okay, fair enough. I just wanted to know exactly what you did, since you stated that you are a specialist in biology and psychology.
I feel like even asking the question to begin with of were you in college, or did you get a degree or whatever? It's okay, you're just trying to fish at this point. That's like what I kind of got from it. And then I'm kind of mad at Princella because it's like, girl, don't say that you just went to school. Like, granted, if you didn't get a degree, okay, but like, don't say that you just went to school. Like, girl, you're smart as hell. Like, super, super smart. I wish she didn't talk down on herself. Like, just saying, I just went to school. She's super smart.
To know if you had any degrees and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. So the topic for today, everyone that's watching, is going to be patriarchy versus matriarchy and what is best for society, which is a net negative or net positive for society. And, Princella, I'm going to go ahead and leave it to you. I believe that you will be on the side of defending the matriarchy. So go ahead and if you want to go ahead and give an opening, now's your time.
Well, that's an actual incorrect assumption, because I believe that there needs to be a combination of the two. The reason for that is because male and female have both different natures. And a male has to be in a patriarchal setup because that is what his biology is designed to be under. However, in order to facilitate growth and sustainability for the planet, an egalitarian system is much more conducive for the planet, society, and communities. When you're under a patriarchal system, what you have is complete dominance, which actually creates a whole host of issues that can be analyzed throughout nature.
Okay. So you said that, men and women think that we need both a patriarchy and matriarchy system. But then you went to say that we need a system that's not actual, patriarchy. It should be egalitarian.
It has to be a combination of the two. So
it has to be a combination of the two. Go ahead and explain. So I got a question for you. So egalitarianism, I mean, the communists tried that and it failed. So why would you take on that idea to try to equalize everything when male and females aren't equal?
So I actually looked this up because I knew, like, him just saying that, like, I knew it was like a moot talking point. So yes, they did. China did try egalitarianism. They did try that and it turned into communism, but the happiest countries actually are under it being egalitarian. And I even made sure that I looked them up for you all, so I'll just tell you all of the countries that practice it. Okay, where is it? Trying to look for it. Okay, well, I don't have to, but Finland, Denmark, Switzerland, Germany, Sweden, those are actually ranked some of the happiest countries to live in, and all of those countries work under egalitarian society. So pretty much where everything is equal, it's 100% equal opportunity, whether you're a man, woman, gay, straight, black, brown, white, it's all like 100% inclusive. And those countries have to pay more in taxes because I believe it's Switzerland. Switzerland gets 460 days of leave after for like child, like they have maternity leave and they have paternity leave. So they actually let both parents be gone for over a year. So what he is saying is completely false. The countries that report the happiest countries, those are all egalitarian ran. So what he's saying there is false.
Well, that's not what egalitarianism means. And this is
okay. Again, that's what I was going to say. Well, that is the definition of it. But what's your definition of it?
Again, there needs to be a combination of the two. Now, what do I mean by combination of the two? Do you agree that males and females should be educated in two different setups? The schools, boys should have their own schools and girls should have theirs. Do you agree with that?
No.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is a problem because males and females are different and they cannot be trained the same. So if you believe that males and females are different, then why would you advocate for something that does not facilitate the difference between the two?
Yeah. So you said that, do I believe that, male and female should have the same schooling?
No, separate schooling.
Separate schooling. Okay. Yes. Separate schooling. I said no. Because you didn't give me more information. The reason being is because
not him blaming her for her not giving him enough information. The question was plain and simple. Do you believe that there should be separate schooling for boys and girls? Why would you need any extra information on that? Either you agree with it or you don't. But if you're going to say that men and women are not equal and they're not the same, how are you going to say that? And then you're going to contradict what you're saying by not agreeing that if you see them as different, you would have them in two different types of school systems. And yes, his eyes are very, very crazy. I would not ever feel comfortable or safe ever being with a man that looks like this. He looks crazy. He does. He looks very scary.
If we're going from kindergarten to all of elementary school to middle school to high school, then to college, at the end of the day, currently the system is what it is right now, where it's both male and female. They are in school together. So you're saying that, okay, fair enough. Would you say that it's failing for women? There's more women that has education, that's getting higher education than men. So is it failing for women and for men?
That is because the school systems are more designed to facilitate females. So, and they're not designed to facilitate males, hence why the males are failing. And so they need separate schooling. If that wasn't the case, then you wouldn't have Dr. Umar up here running around speaking about making a boys' school. So at the end of the day,
so I could agree with that part of it. So you're saying that, well, here's my stance.
He's only agreeing with it because another man said that was the idea. You see how quick he completely changed his tone when she's like, well, yeah, Dr. Umar is out here saying that we should actually have a separate school for men. And so he's not really making a whole lot of sense, because pretty much essentially what she's saying is that academically, men and women are not the same. Women are much more academically advanced. We mature a lot sooner as opposed to men. So when we are in a system where it's co-ed education, typically everything has to be done in order to make sure that the men can keep up, the young boys can keep up. So everything is blamed on, like, this is like crazy how you're like actually conditioned societally to just normalize this. Because when you think about it, if you went to a co-ed school as a young girl, pretty much everything that you had to do was on account of young boys. So like they had a dress code, and they had a dress code because of the boys, and obviously for also the male teachers. But when you think of things like class clown, when you think of like disrespect and talking back, and it's always the boys that are doing this in class, always. And so it's usually always a disruption to the young girls that are in class. And so it's always going to be a workaround when you have this co-ed system of schooling between boys and girls, because boys are usually always the ones that are like fucking up things and like being a distraction, getting in the way of your education.
So on it, right? Stats show that women currently right now with the current system, they're getting higher education than males, right? So I can agree that there should be some changes with the school system. Now, that doesn't mean that we need to separate both male and female from the school.
Yes, it does, because men are getting no education. Men are getting no education. The reason why there's more women that have college degrees, the reason why there are women that are going to college more is because the men aren't going at all. And the reason why the men aren't going at all is because it's too challenging for them, okay? They don't want to take direction. They don't want to listen. They don't want to undergo the discipline that it takes to get to a class on time. You have to follow the rules of the instructor, okay? You have to bring materials to the class. You have to follow the syllabus. Then you still have to go back to your dorm or go back home, wherever you're studying. Then you also have to study for exams. And then if you do a course online, they also will make you type in things online and do forums and things like that. And this is the thing about it, is that men had no problem going to college when women weren't allowed to go to college. So it has nothing to do with the fact that, women are the ones that are dominating. No, men had no problem going to college when women couldn't. So it has nothing to do with that. And it has everything to do with the fact that under the same education system, women are thriving and men are not thriving. And so he's trying to get on the defense because he doesn't want to admit the fact that men and women do need to be in separate schools, because let's just call it what it is. The boys are going to have to be at a slower pace when they're being taught something. Like, let's just call it what it is. They're going to have to learn at a slower pace, and they need to not be trying to gain an education in the presence of women because they don't know how to focus. Women are too much of a distraction for them. So yes, remedial, exactly. So they will have to take the short bus to school. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to wear their hard hat to go to university, and we don't have to worry about that as women. Let me look at the chat really quick. It's pretty sad when you think about it. Zero discipline and willpower. Crazy. It's almost as if these modern men are lazier than the ones from 50 plus years ago. Weird. Exactly. Let's see. The problem is they need to have better standards in school, especially poor schools. Exactly. Girls in mixed schools get lower scores than all girls schools. And they actually revealed this. I believe it was Japan. They had looked at it was for medical students. And so they had put the women and the men, they had put their scores together. And it actually turned out that the women were outscoring the men when it came to the medical schools that they were applying in. And I guess this had actually been this had been a thing for years. And so what they were doing, I guess they were lying about the scores that the men were getting in order to make the acceptance rate higher in favor of men as opposed to women. So he doesn't want to agree with her because he doesn't want to admit the fact that men are too remedial, boys are too remedial to be in school with young girls and with women in order to keep up and catch up and still get their education. And they're too self-conscious to speak up and ask questions, yet they come online and chat up a storm. And Nick, you Cash App me, but you took it back. But I have my new Cash App up. I don't know. Maybe you thought I was trying to scam you or something, but I swear I wasn't.
Oh, you get what I'm saying? So we can make changes in the school. Let me finish. There are all girl schools and there are all male schools, but let me just finish. So you said that, well, I think that what's best is that we have a separation of the two. Currently, our system definitely needs to be updated. Our education system does need to be updated where, they have better systems in place that is more suitable for men. That part I do agree with. I don't agree with the fact that we need to fully separate the two. That's the part I don't agree with. So that's different. You get what I'm saying? But okay. Go ahead. You're good. You wanted to make a point?
Well, before she talks, my thing is that he's not revealing why. He's just saying, I don't believe that we should have our school system be separate because of gender, but he will not give a reason why. And that's how I know that the reason that I'm giving y'all is actually the reason why he won't give a reason, is because he doesn't want to admit the fact that most men are remedial. Their brains, a lot of them, they're not able to focus. They're not able to have enough discipline to want to actually get an education and send however much you want. I don't care. This is just donations out of the kindness out of your heart. I'm not asking, just send whatever it is that you want, just as a token of your appreciation to the work that I'm doing. No big deal.
Males and females have completely different brain wiring, and they need their own schools and setups to facilitate their natures. Now, if we are dealing in truth and reality, then we can agree that there is a difference between the two. And the current setup is causing a lot of dysfunction between both parties. So clearly a patriarchy is not working either, because it is failing, because the United States itself is a patriarchal system.
Got you. So let me just ask you a question, because my stance is this. It sounds silly that you're making a big claim to say, hey, the system isn't working with men and women being in school together. Instead of fixing the problems that's in that school, let's just separate the two. Would you use the same logic to a relationship? People have relationships, both men and women, and they're in a relationship, and there's problems in that relationship, in the household. Would you use that same logic and say that men and women need to be separated from the home?
Isn't there a such thing as legal separation? Is there not something called legal separation? There's a such thing as legal separation. What are you talking about? When people are married and they realize that they have differences and they need to sit down and think about what the trajectory is of their marriage and they don't want to get divorced yet, they file a legal separation. So yes. So yes.
I absolutely would, because based on the studies, it doesn't matter if you don't like that. The first question is this:
Okay.
Are we looking for a solution to a problem, or are we looking to just go back and forth about who's right and who's wrong? Because what I just presented to you was a fact about the difference between males and females. Now, can we agree that there is a major difference between males and females? Yes or no?
Yeah, but correlation doesn't equal. So you're trying to correlate something and say, well, male and females are different. Like, this is the cause of our differences. And you're trying to correlate that to, well, since we are different, we shouldn't have relationships, male and female even living in the same home, or male and female even being taught in the same school. That doesn't make sense to me. So I have a question for you.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
If you don't mind, if I ask you.
Okay, sure. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. You ladies first. I'll be a gentleman.
If there is a
Oh my God, he's so fucking annoying. He is so fucking annoying.
difference, just like there's a difference in each child and they need to be taught differently, because what works for one does not work for all. If you understand that, then we understand that even smaller classrooms that focus more on individuals work better than classrooms with a lot of individuals that learn differently. Do you agree with that?
Okay, that still doesn't correlate.
He is losing so poorly. He is losing this. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy. Everyone knows, like, I come from a family of teachers. Okay. My grandmother is a retired teacher, her twin sister, teacher. I come from a family of educators. Teachers don't like having a large classroom full of people, because when you got a classroom of 30 students in the second grade, 20 students in the second grade, you're going to have more distractions. You're not going to be able to divvy up your attention, because these classes are like an hour long. So you're not going to be able to divvy up your attention amongst 20 people equally within an hour. So that's the reason why he wouldn't even answer that question, because what she's saying makes 100%. It's 100% fact. You're not going to do well when you have a ton of people. That's the reason why if they have like when you go to the gym, they have a group instructor, and you pay for a group class, but they also offer private training. And that's usually always much more money because of what you're getting value wise. You're getting more value because it's one-on-one with the other person, not you in a group, with 10 other people.
To separating the genders. So we all know the truth about
training. We're talking about training people differently. And if males function and learn differently, because males need more physical activity. This is a fact. This is not something. And as a male, I don't even understand why you would be disagreeing with that.
Yeah, no, you're not. You're missing the point that I'm disagreeing with. So let me state my position against your position, right? Mm-hmm. The disagreement is this. You're saying that, well, men and women are different. I agree. Everyone knows that. Any person in their right mind knows that, right? Mm-hmm. Since men and women are different, it causes problems when we are either being educated together or if we are in a relationship together. So since there are problems in school and in relationships, we should separate the two, meaning removing the man and the woman in different schools and removing the man and the woman into separate.
She never said yes, she said, okay, I agree that we're dividing up like us living together, but just because if you go to two separate schools, right? If you go to two separate schools and we were all in high school. How many of y'all have friends at another high school? How many of y'all have friends at another high school? Most of y'all probably have friends at another high school. Y'all was learning the same damn thing in most cases. Okay. It might be a little bit different here and there, but y'all was learning the same thing. So at the end of the day, it's not going to make a difference, and it's not going to crumble up any relationships, because guess what? If you live separate from a person and y'all are in a relationship, you going to do the same shit at your crib alone that you would be doing if you were living with the person. And it ain't nothing that you couldn't do, be going over to one another's houses. Like, come on, y'all could still do sleepovers, y'all could still have sex with each other. Like, it wouldn't make a difference. It wouldn't make a difference. There are people from different high schools, different universities that do study groups all the time, and they aren't going to the actual same school. They're learning the same thing. So it really don't make a difference like he's trying to make it out to be.
Separate homes. My position, that's your position. My position is that that's illogical. What we should do, right, is actually work on our differences. So you stated something that, well, you know, like the slow classes and stuff. Well, you know, the slow classes are with people that need some extra help. It'll be an extra teacher, or they'll minimize how many kids can be in a school. I mean, how many kids can be in that class. So instead of having 20 students, it'll be 10 students and 2 extra teachers, right? And that would produce more help. I would agree. That does produce more help.
I'm online.
You good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I would agree. That does produce more help, but you still wouldn't have to separate the genders to get that done. You can still keep the genders in the same school to get that done. You get what I'm saying? So
I just find it so funny that like his podcast is nothing but him just like berating women, belittling women, disrespecting women, and constantly telling men to have a disdain for women, but yet you want to go to the same schools as us. That's how you know that a lot of these men have very poor intentions. They really, because I mean, let's call it what it is. Most R words happen on college universities. Like that's the number one place that a lot of that takes place, is for men to R word women at university. And so I feel as though he does not believe in there being separation, because number one, he doesn't want to admit that the men aren't up to par, but also you won't be able to have supply to be able to do whatever it is that you want to do. I mean, I remember being in the second grade and little boys smacking my ass and smacking the asses of other little girls in the second grade. You know what I mean? These boys that are in classes with girls, they are harassing us from a very young age. They are tormenting us at a very, very young age. So just admit the fact that you want us to be under the same educational system, because you want to be able to have access to women and do these things that you commonly do, that little boys do, and turn into men. And then you just do the same thing, but you just make it more violent. They are so used to women disagreeing now that women are agreeing with them, and it's a problem. Exactly. Classes should be separate. Exactly. We're just different and we can't coexist together. They still want to be around us. Yes, that's it. They don't even like it when a woman agrees with them. That's how much they dislike us, to the fact they will even switch position just because we have come to agreement. Exactly. He's moved the goalpost, and he's like flipped positions. He's flipped positions constantly to oppose her. Like constantly. Men and women are different. Okay, yes. Okay. Men and women should have separate schooling, and they should also have a separate living situation. No. Like, which one is it?
So let's say if there's currently how it is now, males and females are in school together. Let's say if the boys are behind because of they need some, we got more testosterone, so we need a longer gym, or we need, certain different games in a classroom to keep us focused, whatever it may be. I'm not a teacher or anything, right? But let's say if there's something that we need currently in society, which I do agree with, since there are more women, graduating college than there are men, obviously it does need, the education system does need some change. I'm just saying that it doesn't need the change that you're speaking about, the change of completely separating the genders. We can still do it in the same school, but just change up the systems that we currently have.
Okay, but how? How? He's not offering, and this is what Princella was saying. You are defending your stance, but you're not defending your stance with a solution. You going back and forth between what you feel is wrong or right, You are entitled to your opinion. You're allowed to have your opinion, but how does that solve anything when you aren't giving any solutions? You're just saying, yes, I understand that women are getting more degrees and men are not getting them, and so there is something that we need to change, but I don't have anything to tell you. I don't have any solutions to offer. All I know is that us separating the schools between gender, we can't do that. But you're not giving any other solution. You're not. So like, do the boys need to be held back 2 or 3 grades? Like what? Like what? Yeah, because she's giving him essentially what it is that he wants. Because honestly, the way that men get on these podcasts and they talk shit about women, it's like, okay, well then it sounds like you do want everything to be separate. You don't want to talk to us. You don't want to deal with us. You don't want to marry us. So what would be the issue with us wanting to do everything separate and away from you? No, boo, my Cash App is right here. Send it here. That's why it's there. It's on my page, y'all.
Does that make sense? Instead of like, oh, you could speak. Go ahead.
I just want to make sure I can speak. Okay. Now, you said what I said.
You could tell she is fucking pissed. She is annoyed with his ass.
Are there any examples of any religion, culture, or school of thought that implements a separation between the genders? Any?
Your question is there any schools or I don't understand the question.
No. You said that what I said is illogical, right?
Correct. Because
because I'm giving you every opportunity to speak, but you keep cutting me off. Now, remember, the rules were you let me land my plane, I let you land yours, and I'm doing exactly what you said.
But you asked me a question and you didn't want to answer, so I was going to answer your question.
Oh
okay, so complete your question and then I'll speak. Go ahead.
Okay. Are there any examples anywhere in the world that roll by a school of thought to separate the genders? Anywhere in the world?
Is there any, let me just make sure I got the question right. Is there anywhere in the world that deals with in schools, that's what we're speaking about, where they separate the genders?
Anywhere.
Mm-hmm. I mean, are you speaking about, so let me get some clarification to the question.
Because if
I don't really understand the question, to be honest.
If I'm illogical, then there would be no institution, no country anywhere that will facilitate a practice of separating the genders, giving the genders their own spaces. Because if
there you go. That's a more clear question. Of course, yeah. So there's many things where they separate the genders. We got different bathrooms, different locker rooms, different sports, multitude of different things.
Schools, okay, because this idea where you're saying that I'm illogical to separate males and females out of schools is illogical on your part because they do exist.
And mind you, aren't these the same men that are getting mad at women because women are over here being like, men are like, those transgenders, how come you're not upset about those transgenders sharing the same bathroom as you? I don't want those transgenders being in the same bathroom. How come you're not in an uproar about this? Oh my God. Like what? It's always them moving the goalposts. saying that her idea is illogical, but literally we literally separate things by gender. These are the same men who were getting pissed off with that boxer because they thought that she was a man and she ended up beating another woman in the fight. All I saw was men complaining about it. I barely saw any women complaining about it. So you're fighting, men are literally fighting tooth and nail for, oh my God, men shouldn't be in women's sports. Like, this is crazy. How come you're not in an uproar about this? But he is literally sitting here saying, oh, well, yeah, like the sports should be divided. I understand that. The bathroom should be split up. Yeah, I understand that. Like, come on, please.
Okay. And so even in the Nation of Islam, they literally separate them, put them on two different sides of the entire the church, whatever you call it, the mosque. Okay. You have schools where you have all boys schools and all girls schools. Okay. So this idea that what you're saying is that I'm illogical is really just an intellectual bash. It's a play. It's a lower on my intelligence, which I don't.
She called that motherfucker stupid. She said, you stupid. And you don't understand it this way. I can't break it down no smaller for you to understand it. You just stupid and you just not going to understand it because yeah, he's stupid. He doesn't understand it. He is dedicated to misunderstanding her because he does not want to agree with a woman. I bet you if a man was saying this shit, he would be agreeing. Yeah, we need to have them separated. Yep, we need to have our own schools. We need to have our own churches. We need to have our own this, that, and the other. If a man was saying this, he would be 100% agreeing. He is dedicated to misunderstanding her because she's a woman and she's making very valid points.
Don't like that. What I'm trying to do is have an intelligent conversation with you based on things that actually make sense. And the one thing that absolutely makes sense is the fact that men and women are different, which means that they are oil and water. And one thing about oil and water is it does not mix. That is a fact. And with males and females mixing, guess what? It is eternal chaos. And you all have been having the same conversations for the last 15 years without a single solution to your conversation. Okay, so obviously what you all are talking about online ain't working. So what I'm doing is proposing a different solution that does not sound cookie cutter and just it's a whirlwind of trauma and trash. Okay, so there needs again to be a combination of the two, matriarchy and patriarchy, because the male is wired for dominance. He cannot be in a situation that does not allow for a dominance hierarchy. You all need that. So you can't get rid of patriarchy. As long as you have men, there will be a patriarchy. Okay, so I don't know what conversation you were looking for, but I'm a person of solutions. I'm not here to debate.
He was looking for a conversation for her to say that she believed in a matriarchy. And then obviously he had rebuttals ready for him having the stance on the patriarchy, because usually the podcast host is who chooses the subject. That's who chooses the subject. So he was ready to rebuttal against her taking the stance of having a matriarch, and he got thrown off because she didn't say that. She's like, no, I want us to have a matriarch and a patriarch. And when you go back in time, that's how it used to be. That's how it used to be. Everything was matriarchal, and then the men were in their own area, in their own space, competing with one another, because that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. When you put men and women together, men already see women as being lower in the hierarchy, because that's what she's saying. The patriarchal system is a hierarchy. That's why she says that they're competing for power and they're competing for money. They're not for money, but they're competing for power, money, access to women. They're competing for all of those things. And so pretty much that's how it used to be, because men need to be together in order to compete with one another. That way they are doing what needs to be done to be able to be worthy of the women that are in the matriarch. So it makes 100% sense as to what she is saying.
Debate you. I'm here to have a conversation with you, sir.
Yeah. So to get some clarification. So you're speaking about, you're making a micro. So you're speaking about schools, and you're saying, well, there's problems when males and females are in school together. So that's a macro. Then you speak about micro. You say that, oh, well, you asked me a question, where there's ever been schools, and, in these schools, do they separate the boys and the girls? That's on a macro level. So on a macro level, yeah, we have different locker rooms. On a macro level, yeah, we have different sports. On a micro level, yeah, we have different, bathrooms and different locker rooms. On a micro level, yeah, we play different sports. On a macro level, right? On a macro level, there are currently already all girls schools. There are currently already all boys schools. And those schools they do what they need to do. On a macro level, you're proposing, right, to have only boys schools and only girls schools. Not only that, you're proposing to have males and females, husband and wife, live separately. Do I have that correct?
Let me ask you this question, because there is
wait.
There is a
just
such
answer
thing,
that question, though.
Sir, there is a such thing as living apart together. And those relationships have found to be much more healthy than those who cohabitate. Okay.
I don't have any evidence on that. You don't have any evidence on that.
Actually, I do.
So actually answer the question.
There is research on it.
I got it. Princella, answer the question.
Sir.
Just answer the question so we have it clear.
Sir, I'm answering your question. Separatism is the key, because men and women have
because we don't mix.
You don't mix.
Okay, got it.
Show me the evidence where y'all are working without chaos.
You say we don't mix. Princella, Look in the mirror. Your mother and your father created you. We mix. When I look in the mirror, my mother and my father created me. We mix. What I'm telling you is that no.
Thank you, E-Rock, because E-Rock over here is still talking about children. And this is what I said yesterday in the live. Y'all want to be animals so bad. Roaches can reproduce. Y'all want to be roaches. Y'all want to be roaches so bad and think that it's a noble thing to do. That's why Priscilla said roaches reproduce. Why are you putting such an emphasis on something as if you are as if you are high and mighty for a basic living function? Not a human function. Procreation is not unique to humans. It's unique to all animals. Why do y'all want to be roaches? Why do y'all want it? Why do y'all want to have a hand clap for the same shit that roaches can do? That's the reason why she said that. Men have an obsession. Men have an obsession with wanting to procreate. And this is why you shouldn't be marrying a lot of their asses. Most of them, you shouldn't be marrying all of their asses, because the only reason why the man is on earth is to procreate. That is it. That is his only reason why he is on earth. That is the only reason for his creation. And they want to make it seem as if women are created for that. Nobody. No. Everything has always been separate. Everything has always been separate, and the system does not work. The system does not work, because my thing is this: men are always moving the goalposts. This is the same, man. You shouldn't be marrying these women. This is the reason why men aren't marrying y'all. But now you're saying, oh, well, we need to have men and women living together. We actually need to have a 2-parent home. Which one is it? Because y'all shame us for being baby mamaed. Y'all shame us for being baby mamaed and saying that we should have chose better. And then you say that this is why y'all aren't marrying us. But now you're saying that you believe that it should be a 2-parent household and we should have all this love and we should live under the same roof. It's an obsession because the Y chromosome will cease to exist if they don't pass down through procreation. Exactly. And by the way, thank you for the super chat, Miss Truth Teller. The Y chromosome is it's actually slowly going non-existent. Unfortunately, it won't be non-existent in our lifetime. I wish. That would be bliss. But it's going to be in a million years, something like in the millions. But the Y chromosome is degenerating. Okay, it's going to be less and less males being created because they're not needed. Okay, they're dropping out of the workforce. They're not getting an education. They're lazy. They're not doing anything. And so men are freaking out because their one opportunity to be important in society, they may not have a chance. They may not have a chance to do the one thing that they were put on this earth to do. That's too bad. You're telling women that we should choose better. You should be better. You should be better. You should be a better candidate. You should be worthy of someone wanting to pass on your genes. That's why it's called natural selection. It's called natural selection. They're regressing, so now they're grasping at straws to survive. Exactly. Mother Nature is self-correcting itself. The Y is a failure. Exactly. Yep, this is why poor men didn't have access to women, because these men can't afford to give his woman her own house and maids, which is why traditionally monogamy in love was created to trick us. That's 100% nail in the coffin. Perfect. That's exactly what it is. I literally just had a conversation about this. Why do y'all think? And oh my God, Jara, I was just about to say parthenogenesis. Oh my God. See, I love my subscribers. Y'all get me. I am so glad that my content has chosen the people that it's chosen, because y'all get it. Y'all fucking get it. Why do y'all think that it's only a few families that own majority of the wealth? The Rockefeller family. The Rockefeller family owns majority of the wealth because the Rockefeller family, because before marrying for love in romance, you were tricked. You were lied to. Marriage was always a business agreement to keep the family lineage strong because they did not know where their wealth was going to come from. They did not know where their source of money was going to come from. So usually wealthy families, they vet out for their daughter to marry into another wealthy family. And then they have children. And then they go into a wealthy family. So it's the Rockefeller after Rockefeller after Rockefeller after Rockefeller, and they all have the wealth. Once those people had enough wealth, once those families had enough wealth, they then made it for common people. And they sold it different to common people because common people don't have any wealth. So they can't sit here and spin it to common people and say, oh, well, it's a business agreement. They sold it to you as you're supposed to find a partner. You're supposed to find love. You're supposed to have a partnership, yada, 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 and sell you all this bullshit. But just think, they combine the church and the state for you to get married. So they put all these rules. That's why I think it's so funny when men are like, oh, well, we're just not going to marry you. Okay, you should be challenging the idea of marriage, not women, because we didn't create that. You should be challenging the idea of marriage because that's what you're having an issue with. Just admit the fact that you were lied to and you sold into it. If they truly wanted you married for love and partnership, why are y'all so afraid of losing half of your money? Like, why are y'all afraid of losing your money? If it's supposed to be love and for partnership, why are y'all so afraid of losing half of your money? Because it's making the people in power that created it money. Okay, divorce lawyers and all the people that do the mediation and all that, they're the ones that are making money off of your foolery. But it's not women's fault. It's not women's fault. Blame the lawmakers. Blame the lawmakers for that, because in most cases, those lawmakers and the people that created that were men. Things are going to eventually go back to parthenogenesis. This is why in the Bible, it's reversed. That was not literal. It was literal in the sense of women. A rib did not come from a man because you have never seen a man give birth. A rib cannot come from a man. It's synonymous to giving birth. That's what the figurative language is in the Bible. They wanted to write that in the Bible to make it seem as if women are coming from men. No, we've never seen that. When have you ever seen a man give birth? They can't give birth. The man is the woman is the one, and she's the one that has the rib, and that's the man. It's figurative for parthenogenesis. And yes, it was to give men importance. It was all falsified book to give men importance, to make men feel important, because from the beginning of time, men have had womb envy. They've been very, very, very jealous of the fact that women can create life and give birth, because they don't understand it. They don't understand it. And yes, Miss Truth Teller, women have power over men's existence. That's why they want to control us. Exactly. As a woman, you can shut this motherfucker down. You shut your legs, you will shut this motherfucker down. And this is why they're hammering down on all of these laws when it comes to AB rights, all of these things, no fault divorce. They are trying to keep you locked and shackled in, so that way these men can get what it is that they want, which is to be able to pass their seed. Let me look at the comments really quick. Ooh, the girls are going back and forth with E-Rock. Let's see what's going on in this chat. She's cooking him so hard he's burnt. Men don't want to be outside the home. Scary asses. Wow, I have to look into this. Okay, I already read that one. Oh, back to parthenogenesis. You can look it up. A teratoma. A teratoma is when it's a mass in a woman's ovary, and it has skin, it has hair, and it has teeth. They also call it a dermoid. They call it a dermoid cyst. So naturally, as a woman, your body does have the ability to be able to create cells that are of a human, without any man injecting his genetic material inside of you. And there have been a few cases that I've seen where there are women that have dermoid cysts. That is a sign, in my opinion, okay, in my opinion, that is a sign that parthenogenesis was a thing. Okay, because you have cells in you that can generate and that can become cells, and they can have hair, skin, teeth. You can look it up. It's called a dermoid cyst or teratoma. Statistically, men are regressing and destroying. It's either one or the other. Exactly. Marriage for fifis is a new thing. Romantic love is not real. Exactly, it's not. Because the men with money are the men who have proved themselves. Exactly. This is why the argument with the incel and the red pill community is always, well, 80% of women deal with the 20% of men. That's the point. That's the point. In the animal kingdom, do the women in the animal kingdom just bust it open for the first man, for the first male animal that tries to get their attention? No. The male has to perform. He has to do some type of dance. He has to do something extravagant to be able to prove, hey, I got pretty colors, or I'm strong, or I'm this, or I'm that, to prove to the female animal that his genetics are worth passing down. Because guess what? If we just take an animal kingdom, right? If we take the animal kingdom and we do it the way we do it here, those animals are going to go extinct. If the female animal just picks the first other male animal that comes along, and he don't got to perform, he don't got to do anything. If she's picking wrong and he don't got to perform, the species is going to go extinct, because he is not giving her strong enough genes in order to keep the species alive. And I don't understand why men don't get this. There was a romance, but that was for mistresses, not your wife. Look at Paris Hilton's sister, Nikki, marrying a Rothschild. I'm sure that was strategic as hell. She's a Hilton. Exactly. Hilton and a Rothschild. Like, come on. Hilton and a Rothschild. The elites aren't marrying for love. The elites aren't marrying for romance. They marrying for wealth and money, so that way they could stay in power. Men are so disagreeable. Even Jordan Peterson concurs to that. They're highly disagreeable. Highly disagreeable. Every single time that I was in a male-dominated space, my leader or coach or trainer that would deal with both men and women would always tell me that they have such a hard time training or working with the men, because the men are very disagreeable. The men don't follow directions. The men are very combative. With me doing bodybuilding, my own coach would tell me that he was like, I prefer to train women because I just give the women the plan and tell them what to do, and they just do it. Whenever it's a man, it's always a reason as to why he can't do it. He's tired. Why are my carbs so low? They're weak. They're very, very, very weak. Let me see. But they shame mistresses to society at the same time. It was about divide and conquer so that women never come together to flee the plantation. Exactly. She's right. Parthenogenesis will happen again because nature always compensates. Exactly. Probably how Mary got pregnant. Yeah, through parthenogenesis. I'm telling you, look it up. Look up teratoma, dermoid cyst, and you'll see. Your body on its own can create skin, hair, teeth on its own without no help from a man. The only reason why women created males was to protect us from physical danger in the Stone Ages. They're useless in modern times. Well, yeah, because we have weapons. I don't understand why men are like, well, who's going to protect you? Who's going to protect you? Imagine how annoying you have to be. Imagine how much disdain a gender has to have for you, where you can only market yourself to be useful in a time of crisis. Like, because that's always a rebuttal. Who's going to protect you? Who's going to protect you? I can buy weapons. The same weapons that y'all are using, I can just get a weapon. Teratoma is giving the substance. I haven't seen that. Men are crashing out because women are seeing them for who they are. Exactly. Oh my God, when I got my CDL, the teacher said the same thing. Men will argue back constantly. Yeah, even where I live, even where I live, the guy that it's a man that rents out to me. He created the place that I live only for women. He made it a big closet. He made it a big space. He made it specifically for women because he straight up told me, I don't like male tenants. I don't like male tenants. He said that they're very disruptive. They ruin the place. They don't keep the place clean. They don't follow directions. He straight up told me he does not take male tenants. Did you do commentary on the Chad to Dad passport bro TikToker who married and is now divorcing the 28-year girl he brought to the US and created children with? Not yet. Not yet. Men are dependent on women needing them. They know deep down they need women. Exactly. All right, let's go back to this.
What I'm telling you is that we all have differences. The thing is, you want to run away from differences. What happens is when women get in leadership positions, they want to break up things. They want to separate things. That's why when a woman is leading the relationship, if she's leading, it will be the end of that relationship. She will cause separation. When a man is leading, he does not cause separation. He keeps it together. So at the end,
men are always trying to give themselves credit for keeping shit together and not leaving. Yeah, they'll stay. They'll stay and cheat on you. They'll stay and harm you. They'll stay and disrespect you. They'll stay and spend your money and use up your money to give to other women. So yes, they will stay 100%. This is why we need to quit giving men credit for staying in a relationship, because they stay and do whatever they want to do as if they're single. And that's the reason why women leave. That's the reason why women leave.
End of the day, what you're speaking about, that we don't mix, that's nonsensical. It doesn't make sense from a biological. You said that you're a biologist. So how can you even speak about that? We don't mix. We mix perfectly. What are you talking about? It's the perfect mix.
No, we only mix to procreate. We don't mix to be able to live together. We don't mix to be able to raise children together. We don't mix in any other way aside from just to procreate. Pretty much he's upset. Pretty much he's arguing, oh my God, you want us to be separate? That way I don't have access to schmecks. That's pretty much what he's arguing. He's arguing the fact that women and men are separate, and so he won't have any access to kitty cat. That's what it sounds like he is pretty much arguing.
Sir, can we have a logical discussion?
We've been having a logical discussion, but you've been speaking some nonsense about we don't mix.
I'm going to ask you to stop being childish the one time.
No one's being childish. I was speaking. I fully let you speak and complete your thought out. And then I just rebutted it.
I'm trying to figure out what you think is mixing, because what you just said is the activity of a virus. Okay.
Got it. Virus, Princella, you just said something that, well, you have data that there are relationships.
I'll tell you what, you go ahead and talk, and I will just
cool. Yeah. Listen to this real quick. Listen to this.
Listen to you.
You said something. You said that I have data that men and women in relationships, when they are separated from the house, they actually thrive in it, and it does real good. I have more data than you have, because there are many marriages, male and female, living in a home, and they thrive and do amazing. Actually, we have facts on it. A nuclear family with a man and a woman and children living in a home, they do good.
No, they don't do good just because there's two people in the household. This is another very weak argument for men. Just because there's two parents in the household does not mean anything. If you have two alcoholics under the household, it ain't gonna work. Even if you have one person, even if you have one person in the household that is abusive, that's manipulating and things like that, that it's not gonna work even if there's two people, because guess what? It's gonna be two people with dysfunction, and that's what the child is going to be exposed to. Men keep trying to give this argument as if it's going to change our minds. Let me look at the comments really quick. Don't men say that they hate hearing us talk? How does that mean we mix? They hate our makeup. They hate us. They hate our nails. They hate us. They hate us talking. They hate the fact that we like luxury. They hate everything about us. They hate everything about us. So it's like, when you're listing off everything that you don't like about women, and then you're sitting here saying that you believe that men and women shouldn't be separated, it's like you're telling on yourself. And at the end of the day, all this goes back to, I don't want them to be separated because I want to have access to schmecks. I want to have access to schmecks. Raising your voice, winning the argument. No, they don't. Grew up in a nuclear family and suffered abuse. Exactly. You're always using the worst examples. That's what y'all say. I'm not using the worst examples. That's what y'all say. Don't y'all say that? Well, you're wearing makeup. Well, you got a wig on. Well, we don't like it. Y'all talk too much. Women are funny. Women are boring. Women are interesting. Women have no personality. That's what y'all always are saying about women. So if that's how y'all feel about women, why isn't it an issue? Why isn't it an issue if we say, okay, well, since you don't like us, we'll do our thing over here with the women, and then you can go on ahead and you can do your thing over there with the men. The worst are the majority, bro. Read a book. Exactly. Like, and the thing about it is this guy's over here saying you're always using the worst examples. Well, give the best examples. I wouldn't have to use worse examples if there were better examples, and there's not any. He is so rude talking over her like that. Super rude, because he's losing the argument. This is what men do. When they feel like they're losing the argument, they're going to raise their voice. They're going to cut you off. They're going to start calling you illogical. They're going to start calling you emotional. Oh, I appreciate you too. Thank you. The worst are the majority. DV gets worse during football season. There's nothing wrong with your examples. Imagine red pillars now advocating for relationships with women. They sound desperate as heck, and realizing their podcast ain't having the desired effect, which was to scare women into settling for them. Exactly. Because my thing about it is this. I don't see these. They're talking about they're getting their passports, that there's a ton of women in other countries and bump y'all. We won't deal with y'all, yada, yada, yada. Where are the marriages? I'm not seeing the marriages. All I'm hearing about is how they're going to the different countries and sleeping with women. They're getting robbed, they're getting unalived, and they're catching STDs. That's all that I'm hearing about. That's all that I'm hearing about. Even the best examples are usually the bare minimum. Exactly. He doesn't want separatism because then there will be a real male loneliness crisis. Why don't men want to be in each other's company? Exactly. If we Thanos snap and we got rid of all the women, men would be scared as hell. That's why they don't want to go to jail and they don't want to go to prison. But yet they do. This is what I find so funny. Men don't want to go to jail or go to prison and then do all the things that it takes to go to jail or prison. DV, R-word, robbery, burglary, homicide, drug dealing, doing all the things, and then want free Ray t-shirts. Y'all do all the things. Y'all will do all the things that are illegal, and then be trying to figure out, oh, well, why I don't want to be in prison. Yeah, you don't want to be in prison because you know what's going to happen if you drop the soap. You know what's going to happen when you're the new person in there and you don't know nobody up in there, and they beat you up. They harm you. They use weapons on you. If men had to be in the presence of other men, they would be scared as hell, because that would mean that instead of the attacks that happen on the women, those attacks would be happening to them. Yes, I remember Tony Gaskin also asking Ace Metaphor to remove the bass in his voice. Yes. My mom and dad had a nuclear family, and my upbringing was hell. The two-parent household argument goes against community, the village communities that we used to do for centuries. Exactly. That's all I've been hearing too, going to different countries, going through it. Exactly. Like, what happened to them wanting foreign women abroad? Passport agenda gone pretty quietly lately after the birth rate plummeting was made public, because their tactics aren't working. We know that they triangulate, so we already know if you go out on a date with a man and a man brings up another woman, you already know what he's doing. You already know, oh, well, you're nothing like my ex-girlfriend. Oh my God, you're nothing like her. You already know. Full of shit. Because why would you need to bring up someone else to validate my presence around you? It's manipulation. It's triangulation. The jig is up. These manipulation tactics, one-trick ponies y'all be doing with all the women, y'all done it to too many women now. Y'all have done it to too many women now, and women are telling one another about, Oh, he said that to you? Well, my guy said something like that to me. Women are sharing information and realizing that these men are using the same lines. These men are doing the same exact things. These men are still leaving their families. These men are still out here cheating. We're realizing that they're all doing the same thing. So once you've done all this to majority of women, you're not going to have a pool of women because we're all knowledgeable now. This is why they're freaking out. This is why they're freaking out like this bug-eyed man.
Single mother households leads to degeneracy. So what are you speaking about? Now you can say that, well, there can be a, it could be fully separated, living in a separate home, and then the kids go to this home at some point, and the kids go to that home at some point. That's not healthy for the kids. My standpoints would say, I would say that that's not healthy for the kids. But anyways, actually, I got a question for you about this, because you spoke about egalitarianism. How does all of this tie into egalitarianism and making things equal? Because that was your main point. So how does this tie in? So are you saying that the separation makes us more equal?
She laughing at his
just ask questions to the wall, Fugazi, because you're being real Fugazi right now. And so when you're done talking and you're ready to let me ask you some questions and talk logically, I will engage with you.
Well, no, I've been active listening to everything you're saying. Remember, when you spoke, I asked you a question. You gave your little stance. You gave your stance, and you said, "Well, I think that the patriarchy and the matriarchy should be mixed, and it should be egalitarianism." And that's what I questioned you on. And then you brung it to school and stuff like that. And then I'm like, well, now my question for you is, how does all of this make things equal?
First and foremost, sir, I don't even preach equality, because men and women.
Well, you said egalitarianism.
Sir. Do you want me to
Rude
drop
as
you? Because
hell.
one thing I'm not going to sit up here and do is have you interrupt me every 2 seconds every time I say a single word. Okay, so you're going against your own rules. All right, so I'm not going to sit up here and deal with no child. Now you either going to talk to me like an adult. All right, you're going to talk to me like an adult, and you're going to have an intelligent conversation, or we can just end this right now. Okay?
I just have simple questions for you. That's all.
What you're doing is interrupting me every time I say just a word. Okay, and so this is not a conversation. See,
you know what?
And he has a whole baby mama. He does. He has this is the same man that's telling men that they shouldn't deal with single mothers. Meanwhile, he is with a single mother. He is with a single mother. This is what his single mother girlfriend has to deal with. This is how he's treating her. This is how he's treating her. If there's something that she says that he doesn't agree with, oh, your little stance, your little opinion, cutting her off, talking over her, calling her illogical, calling her all the names. This is what he's doing in real life to women. This is a photograph. This is a picture, video of what he does in real life to women.
I'll let you speak. And you could go ahead and get it all out, and then let me know can I ask you a question?
Well, you've been asking a million questions back to back. So why don't you go ahead and do that? Okay. And then I'm just going to be quiet and let you run the show, because that's what you want to do. All right, go ahead.
Well, are you actually going to answer my questions or no?
I don't know what you're asking me, because every time I get ready to answer you, you cut me off.
That is untrue. I've actually been looking for an answer to some of my...
Real quick, let's go ahead and give Princella a hand clap, because she better than me. I commend Princella for her patience, okay? Because couldn't have been me, okay? I would have been saying all types of motherfuckers and fuck you, and because she is being extremely patient with him.
My questions, but it's okay. Let's do it this way, right? So I'll let you go ahead, and I'll write the questions down real quick so I don't forget.
Everybody can see that you're not letting me speak. I'm saying
I'll let you speak, but here's how we'll do it. I'll write my questions down so I have it. But okay, we're speaking about patriarchy and matriarchy, and you said that it's better when it's mixed, a little bit of both. You also said that, well, I think that it should be egalitarianism. The definition that I have of egalitarian is a person who believes in equality of all people. So my question is, how does all of this lead to equality if you want to separate the genders in all facets, in the school and at the home?
Sir, life is about equity, okay? Life is about equity and not equality. However, when you're dealing with people, you have to give everybody...
Sorry, okay, that's a red herring. You just moved away from...
You see what I'm saying?
You said egalitarianism, not what we speak.
He's slow. He's slow as hell. He is slow as hell. He got an IQ of 5. Egalitarianism is when everything is equal. She already said that men and women are not equal. So if men and women are not all equal, you have to separate them to give them equity. Equality is if, okay, I'm 5'1". I'm 5'1". So equality is if it's a fence, and we'll say the fence is 6 feet tall. The fence is 6 feet tall. It's me and two other people standing at the fence. I'm 5'1" at the fence. It's a woman next to me. She is 5'9" at the fence. Then it's a man. He is 6'2" at the fence. Equality is someone giving us each a step. In the step is 1 inch. 1 inch. We each get, despite our differences, we each get a 1 inch block to stand on to be able to see over the fence. So I'm getting something, and they're getting the same thing that I'm getting. I'm 5'1". I will not be able to see over a 6 foot fence because they only gave me something that was 1 inch. Okay. The 5'9" woman, she gonna be right at the fence. And then the 6'2" man, he got the step for no reason because he already could see over the fence. That is equality. Equity is if I get a step and the step is like, I don't know, the step is like a whole foot. The step is a whole foot. And then the 5'9" woman will get a step that's about, I don't know, 3 inches. And then the man gets no step at all because he's tall enough to lean over the fence. That's equity. Equality means same. Equity means fair. It's not that hard of a concept. It's not that hard of a concept.
Speaking about, you said equity. That's something totally different.
I do not have time for this, sir, because every time I start talking, you interrupt.
Yeah, but you tried to commit a red herring.
She said,
look, she off of here, bro. Hey, chat, we do it live. Listen, this is what happens when you have logical discussions with women and they don't know what they're speaking about, bro. She had no idea what she was speaking about. She didn't know where she wanted to go with the conversation. And I just caught her in her tracks. Like, what are you speaking about? You said egalitarianism. Egalitarianism is a person who believes all things should be equal. Then just in that split moment, she says, well, equality, I don't believe in equality. I believe in equity. That's a red herring. You're moving. And one, that's a lie. And then two, that's a red herring. You're trying to like move away from the main topic. Like, this is what happens where she actually gets her points critiqued by a logical individual. And the crazy thing is, I made 0 ad hominem attacks. 0 ad hominem attacks, bro. I didn't make not one ad hominem attack. When I said illogical, I said that's an illogical statement. Never said that she was illogical.
Listen, men saying illogical, they just use the term illogical to expose the fact that they don't know what the fuck you meant. Like, I didn't use an ad hominem attack. Okay, but you also did not understand what the fuck she was talking about. He's trying to use words to make him sound smart. Exactly. He doesn't make sense. And he stayed on her live for almost an hour talking to himself after she dismissed herself, further proving her point. Exactly. He is delusional. Notice how these men always need to bring women on their shows to get views, but only bring us on to berate, humiliate, and try to control us. Someone said that she went off on him after. Where's that video? Where's that video? Why are men constantly abandoning their kids? Mothers aren't leaving their children. The fathers are. They're constantly making kids all over the place. Queen Princella is really calm and patient. However, I like how she calls him a child because he is a child. He is a child. Talking over people, cutting people off, raising his voice. No. He loved to use big words for nothing. It has no clue what they meant. Exactly. Red herring is just bringing up a different point, to try to deflect from the debate. But she wasn't doing that because she said that she wants both matriarchy and patriarchy. So she giving you her reasons for both. He is a narcissist purposely trying to rile Princella up. How could we be equal to something we are far superior to. Exactly. He doesn't know what equity means. No, he doesn't know what equity means. That's why I'm like, equity means fairness. If men and women aren't equal, the level of fairness has to be different amongst men and women. Hence why she's saying that men and women should be separated to make it fair. The men can't keep up in university. They can't keep up in university. They're not smart enough. Internet gave a platform to men who would legit not be getting attention in the real world. Exactly. Because these men go out in the real world and ain't nobody paying attention to them, especially not this fucking clown. Proof that we don't belong together. We can't even have a conversation. That's smart. That's good. Exactly. This is men's go-to tactic to make women look emotional and attempt to deflect and humble her. Men, when you tell them anger is an emotion. Exactly. The live she did after that. This live name is No Fugazi done a month ago. Oh, okay. Well then hold on. Let me stop sharing. I want to cover that one too. Just for a little bit. Because I didn't watch that one. I didn't watch that one. Let me go to her actual channel. Let's do live. Because I remember seeing like the thumbnail or whatever for it, but I didn't watch it. Where is it? Okay, now I can scroll up. I don't even see it anymore. And I know it's got to still be on here. Let me just type it in. My God, this light's so hot. Okay, here it is. I found it. Her lives are always so long. Oh, perfect. It came right up. Yeah, I see it. Let's watch it. I just have it midway through when she's calling him childish. He sensed her superiority and can't keep up, so would rather go around and around the village because they don't want to believe that women are above them. Exactly. All right, let me share the screen with y'all. Oh, what's going on? Of course it does this.
On campus.
Okay.
He is too childish to have an intelligent discussion with a grown-ass woman. Showing you what type of women he attract. And you know why? Because all you got to do is look at the type of women he bring on his podcast. Look at who he bring on his podcast. Look who he attracted to. Look who he became a sucker for. A white woman. Who you know he can't beat up on because he need her social credibility. He needs her social influence. So see, that's the white girl man. And what applies to black women don't apply to white women. See, you beat up on black women. Right? I still don't have 100,000. You're right. But I got 95. I done went up 15,000 subscribers this year. You ain't got, what, you got 10? Sir, you got 10? I got 95,000. How many you got? You want to have a dick swinging contest? I pull my dick out.
Let me just, yes, Iraq, beat up on. Okay. Black men always like to say, well, this is the reason why don't nobody want to marry black women, and black women have the lowest rate of marriage. Well, guess what? You want your golden star? I'll give you your golden star. Out of all of the races, black men commit the most amount of DV. Here you go. Yay! You can be happy. With your statistic that you lead in, hitting women, specifically black women.
On you right now. I got 95. How many you got? You see, because that's what y'all like. You like dick swinging contests, don't you? Right. I want you to understand that most males have fragile egos, and the last thing they want to do is get their ass waxed by a woman. The last thing they want to do is risk getting their ass handed to them by a woman. That right? How smooth I pull that motherfucker out right now. I'd like what's the name say? If I pull my shit out, this whole room get dark. Kick it, right? I pull my shit out right now, the whole room get dark. Look, you can't even handle these dudes and go and deal with them in good graces because you think you deal with them in good graces and they got something else up their sleeve like men do. Like men do. I don't understand why they so adamant about continuing to prove me right through their actions. Through their actions. How many of y'all want a relationship with a person like that? If you do not want a relationship with a person like that, just put not me in the chat. Put not me in the chat. How many of you want a husband like that? How many of you want the power that when the motherfucker start disrespecting you, you got the power to get up and walk out?
Exactly.
How many of you want the confidence to know your value enough that when a motherfucker start disrespecting you, you have the power to get the hell up and walk out? Because guess what? You don't need their ass.
Yep.
You don't need their validation. You don't need their goddamn attention. You don't need their money. Now, either we gonna talk like adults, I'll bounce out. Because I don't know what you think that you got that I ain't got. I don't know what you think that you have that I don't have. Because I got my own name. I got my own name. I got my own fan base. I got my own money. Do you really think I need you to disrespect me? Do you think I need to sit there and tolerate disrespect as you get your jollies off, thinking that you better than somebody when you ain't nothing but a child?
Yep.
You think so? See, this is how I walk away from relationships too. You get to fucking around with me, you get to disrespecting me, and you get to causing me stress. I'm out. Ain't shit to work on. What's to work on is your goddamn attitude.
Yes.
Ain't shit to work on. Let me ask y'all this question. Let's take that as a relationship. Tell me, what was I supposed to do to work on that? Now, he's telling me that if you let a woman lead, she just gonna break it up. Now, if a man leads the relationship, what he gonna do? He gonna cheat, have babies on you, bring STDs, and demand that you sit there and keep the family together, as if those actions are not breaking up the family.
Did I not say, oh my, this is the first time I'm watching this. Did I not say that? Did I not say that? Yes, they want credit for staying while they disrespect you and do all types of shit to you and want credit for it. They want credit. They want you to give them credit for staying while they ruin your fucking life. Like, it's crazy. They want you to be a living punching bag. They want you to be a living punching bag to their emotions, their feelings, their ego, their self-esteem, their validation. They want you to be a human punching bag through all of that. And then get mad when you don't want, then they get mad when you get disrespected. They get mad when they get mad when you react. Oh, she was crazy. No, she wasn't fucking crazy. She got sick of your shit and you did something to push her over the edge and she left your ass or did whatever it is that you're calling her crazy for.
Up and leave because a motherfucker hurts you, disrespects you, and drive you to the ground. They want to call you walking away, breaking it up. Now, take that show, what he was doing on that show, and you tell me what I could have done to make that situation better besides getting the fuck up and walking out.
Exactly.
Tell me, was I supposed to just sit there and argue with him? I was supposed to sit there and try to force him to listen to me? Or I just accept the shit the way it is and you can have it, partner. You can have it. You know how many times? This the third time. This the third time Lapeef Network asked me to come back and they apologized for how they handled me the last time when I got the fuck up and walked out on them too. You're not going to disrespect me online. You're not going to disrespect me in no relationship. You ain't going to disrespect me because one thing I can get up and do is walk the fuck out because guess what? 95,000 subscribers, that's enough. Who the fuck said I need any more? Who said I need any more? I'm grateful for what I have. I'm not greedy. I'm not greedy. And if I respect you, why can't get this? Why can I not expect the same amount of respect that I afford you? The fact of the matter is, men don't think that they have to give women respect at all. Oh, no, a woman, that's an easy target. Let me jack my dick off on her.
Yep.
Let me punch her in the eye.
Yep.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to go down with a goddamn fight. I don't know why you think I don't know why you think I'm one of these weak ass submissive women that ain't gonna sit up here and say something. If I see I can't say nothing, I'm gonna leave your ass. I'm not staying in no relationship. I'm not staying in no marriage. I'm not staying in no job. I'm not staying nowhere where I'm not respected. And that's the power you get when you are independent. That is the power that you have when you are independent and you know your own value and your own worth. God damn it, you're gonna respect me and you're gonna talk to me like a goddamn human being and you're gonna talk to me like you got some intelligence, or you can get the fuck out of my face. Or you can get the fuck out of my face. Because one thing is, I'm not getting on my knees to suck nail, Peter Wacker. I don't give a fuck who you are. You ain't important enough to me. No man is important enough to me to give over any of my dignity. Not an ounce of it. And they think that makes them look like men.
Yep.
They think that that behavior makes them look like strong men. Now compare him to Cam Newton. Listen, compare Fugazi to Cam Newton and tell me, because there's a lot of people that don't like Cam Newton. But look how Cam Newton interviews his guests and look what them boys did. Look what that boy did. Now you tell me who is more of a man. You might not like Cam, but who is the more intelligent of the two, and who is more of a man between the two? Myron gets on Fresh and Fit, lacks self-discipline. Now it's a bunch of men that run over there and listen to Fresh and Fit, but but Myron torpedoed their whole organization due to his lack of self-control and over-emotionalism. But the men always talk about women being overly emotional just for them to get up there and do the same thing that they complain about the women doing. They throw temper tantrums, hissy fits, right? This is what they do. And this is why they have to get girls that don't know nothing, that don't have the ability to speak back to them so that they can feel more like men. They got to punch down. They got to be able to find someone that they feel is weaker than them so that they can punch down.
Yep.
And when they can't punch down, then they throw a hissy fit.
Yep, because they're not doing exactly that shit to men.
And that's exactly what Fugazi did. And the whole Satan the Sinner thing, that was his way of trying to get retribution for Myron and Fresh. So he wants to do all that shit, the same thing that Fugazi did. None of them can actually intellectually challenge a woman. A woman. Because if you thought you could intellectually challenge me, you would let me talk and finish a point.
Yeah.
If you really thought I was stupid and dumb, you would let me talk the same way Cam Newton let Dr. Bryant and Dr. Sarah talk and had them wrapped around his little finger.
Yeah.
I don't understand why these males think that they're men. And this is the reason why you need to close your legs. Because why is anybody fucking this cornball? Why as a woman are you fucking any of these cornballs? Because they tell you to choose better. If you got the 41 Shades of Men and you understand what a man is, nobody should be fucking Fugazi. Nobody should be fucking Myron. Because these are adult boys. Why are these dudes getting sex? Infantile. He wasn't even, Al Smooth, he wasn't even debating, because the rules of debate is everybody gets to speak their piece to finish a point. Then you go, it's a back and forth thing. I say, well, and then he cut me off. I can just give, well, let me say, well, goddamn, well, let me just sit up here and let you talk. Let me just sit up here and let you talk, because this is what this is about. This is what this is about. I'm not the one. I am not the one to run that game on, because you're going to look ignorant. Because I'm the type of person that pulls up studies. This is what I do all day, every day. I research. I have the National Library of Medicine in my back pocket. This is what I do. I have a whole library. I run a book club every Sunday where I read the books, right? So let me read something to y'all. Because men really think that they can do some shit without a woman. Men think that they can do some shit without a woman. They really believe that men built the world and that they can do without women. But that's not true, because this is their argument for patriarchy. See, motherfuckers don't want to talk to somebody that got sense, because even with this, a man will disagree with me. Now I read. I'm not no dummy. Now this is Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill. I don't understand why you all just want to argue. You don't want to come to a resolution to actually fix a problem. This is not what you want to do.
Yes, girl. Yes. I blocked that E-Rock dude. I banned his ass. He was getting on my nerves.
Fortunate indeed is the person who has discovered how to give sex emotion an outlet through some form of creative effort. For he has, by the discovery, lifted himself to the status of a genius. Scientific research has disclosed these significant facts. I'm gonna say that one more time. Scientific research has disclosed these significant facts. The men who have accumulated great fortunes and achieved outstanding recognition in literature, art, industry, architecture, and the professions were motivated by the influence of a woman.
Yep.
Were motivated.
I'm cutting her off real quick. I'm so sorry. I know we're looking into this. Look up the inventions that are credited by men, and when you dig deeper, you will find out that a lot of the inventions that are credited by men actually were inventions by women. Okay. Everything that a man has done, this country, all of what it is that you have, they will always try to take credit and say that men did it. No, a woman inspired it. A woman inspired it. Why do you think men keep saying, I want someone to build? I want someone to build. I want someone to build with me. They want someone to build with so that you can inspire them and they can fucking take credit for it. There's a girl that I'm friends with, and she was dating this guy, and she was like, oh yeah, the guy that I'm like was dating or whatever, he's on his way to like write a book. She's like, but I was the fucking one that wrote the book for him. I was the one that did the chapters and everything and told him gave him the idea for the book. These men lack creativity. These men lack ideas. These men lack knowledge. They can only get that shit from you. They can only get it from you as a woman. Why you think No Fugazi said that he does not believe in schools being separate? Because he want to cheat off of a woman. He want to cheat off of a little girl to be able to get good grades. He not smart enough to do it. He want to be under the influence of women. Because women are we are the portal. We are the value.
Motivated by the influence of a woman. Men think that they can achieve and that they do things without women. But without women, men would kill themselves. They have achieved nothing without the influence of a woman. Nothing. Let's read this. Far from becoming...
Oh my God, wait. Oh my God, how can I fix it? I think I accidentally banned someone and I didn't mean to ban them. Hold on. It scrolled up when I was trying to ban this fool because I only put him in timeout. But I accidentally banned someone and I didn't mean to ban them. I feel so bad. I'm so sorry. I banned the wrong person. I don't know who CN is, but I accidentally banned them. I feel bad now. Sorry, I'll go back and play it. I'm trying to figure out how to fix it.
Because of great sex desires, the majority of men lower themselves through misunderstanding and misuse of this great force to the status of the lower animals. Far from becoming Geni, because of great sex desires, the majority of men lower themselves through misunderstanding and misuse of this great force to the status of the lower animals. Queen of Coins, you just don't have good listening skills. Because you all have a this or that mentality, black or white. You don't understand gray area. You don't understand truth. You don't understand spectrum. You don't understand that two things can be true. And since you don't understand that, you can't understand colorful talk. You can't understand the truth because you don't live in truth. You lie to yourself every day. You listen to the same bullshit in and out. And all you think about is somebody taking a side and speaking in a way that you believe. And when it don't work that way, you confused. I know very well exactly what I'm saying and what I'm talking about. Men and women have two different natures. What part of that don't you get? Men and women see the world through two different lenses. I am here to show you objectively the world of both. And y'all ass can't understand that. You can't understand that because you know what? Most of you are elementary. The average reading comprehension level for adults in America is 6th grade. 6th grade. I don't understand why y'all act like y'all can understand information that requires you to have a much higher reading comprehension level. You're reading at a 6th grade comprehension level, so nothing above a 6th grade comprehension level makes sense to you. No matter how much I break it down, it don't make sense to you.
And this is why in most cases you got to stop arguing with them. Just do a couple clapbacks. But I never waste my time explaining anything to men because they're not smart. They're not smart. They know that they're not smart. They want to drain your energy. They want to drain your energy because they know that you are going to be talking nonstop, breaking shit down for them nonstop into the smallest of morsels, into the smallest of morsels for them to understand it, and you're draining your energy. These men are stupid. Like when I say they are stupid, they're so remedial. What do you mean dark screen? Up, someone said, check my connection. Okay, let me cut this off. Okay, maybe it's better now. Hopefully it is. Let me stop sharing and then go back and share again. There we go.
If you cannot transform a man into a woman, then why would you have a system or a social structure that only supports a person who can function in a system that is designed for a woman? Men are here. They're on the earth. So if we're going to change, because the system clearly ain't working. Let me show you something. The system ain't working. So we have a problem. The system is not working. So since the system ain't working, don't you think something need to change since y'all ain't getting the outcomes that you want? Let me tell you something about patriarchy. Only a few people actually benefit from patriarchy. Men are suffering under patriarchy. But because it supports their identity, they'll fight to maintain it, even though they unaliven themselves in this shit.
Wait, I just want to make sure that it's not a dark screen or that it's anything wrong before I keep playing this. Put a 1 in the chat if the connection is okay, please. Because sometimes StreamYard is weird. So I want to make sure everything is okay before I just keep playing this and no one could like see it. Okay, everything's good. Okay, cool.
Kind of just like how white folks, to make sure that black folks don't get benefits, they'll vote against their own interests, even though that they're not part of the white elites. They'll vote against their own interests just to stop somebody else from getting benefits. This is the same shit that men do. They'll fight for patriarchy, even though the majority of them are suffering under this shit.
Yep.
Only a few people make money off of this.
Yep.
What?
Men, the sad thing about it is that men keep thinking that we like do this, and when we have this rhetoric about men, they always want to call us misandrous. They always want to say, well, you hate men. It's not that at all. We actually want to help men because the thing about it is that a man will tell another man that he should off himself. And men have been conditioned to be so submissive to other men that they'll fucking do it. Why do you think men go to war? Why do you think men see it as being so noble to risk their life? Because all it took was for another man to tell that man that you should give up your life, your sanity, your family, all of that, because a man told you to do it. But if a woman is like, you know what? I don't know. That doesn't sound right. I really think you should think that through and try to be the voice of reason. They're not going to listen to you all because you're a woman and you're actually trying to give them proper guidance. But because you don't have a penis, they're not going to listen to you. They're not going to want to listen to you, even when you're trying to help them make decisions that are in their best interest. And this is why we just put our hands up. We just put our hands up because y'all don't want any help. They don't want any correction. They don't want anyone to look after them or care about them. They are totally fine. And this is what's so funny. They submit to be a slave because that's what they're doing. They're submitting to be a slave by saying, well, who built your houses and who built the infrastructure? And, you know, you have that heat. You wouldn't have the heat in your place. You wouldn't have the heat in your place if it weren't for us. Guess who's making all of the money off of you doing that? Another man. Another man is making all that money off of that. Not you. You built it, but you're not getting any of the benefits back for you building it, constructing it in the first place. But these are the same men who want to make you feel like they're doing you a favor, when in reality, they're the ones getting cheated by another man.
Everybody else is suffering, both men and women. Both men and women are suffering under this shit. And it ain't working for nobody. But the male's ego, because patriarchy says is about father rule, his ego says this the way it gotta be, even though men lead in suicide rates.
Yep.
Men lead in alcoholism. Men lead in substance abuse. They crumbling under this shit. But they don't want you to hear anything that's actually going to be a part of a damn solution because they too busy jacking their damn dicks off and just saying, you can't talk because you're a woman. You don't know anything. Bitch, I study, I read. I don't know what you think this is. But I'm actually here to educate people. I'm not here to do no fucking dick swinging contests with childish ass males who want to swear they high value men. You ain't shit. You ain't shit but a little boy trapped in an adult body that's just looking for a way to get as much sex as you can and as much attention. You ain't here to fix shit. Y'all in this gender war shit. I'm in education shit trying to figure out a solution to the goddamn problem.
Yep.
And what I find the problem is that there's a co-ed chaos going on because y'all some sex addicted, ego power driven freaks.
Yep.
That don't want to take no accountability and responsibility. And all a man want to do is keep his hands on a woman and keep her legs open while telling her it's her fault for keeping them open. Femicide rates are through the roof. When COVID locked down, everybody, domestic violence rates went up.
And also remember, during COVID, what content creator, what male red pill content creator that his views were going through the fucking roof during COVID? Kevin fucking Samuels. So while women were locked in their houses with a man, they listening to another man pretty much saying that it's okay for you to have resentment and disdain for your wife, for your girlfriend. And look at how that happened. I'm not trying to be funny, but the universe knew what the fuck it was doing. The universe knew what the fuck it was doing when it came to Kevin Samuels. Because if Kevin Samuels was still alive, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know the damage that would still be going on and the worst harm that would be happening if he was still promoting what it is that he's promoting. He got popular during the lockdown. Myron actually did work. He's an ex-Fed. He's an ex-Fed. They're allowing other men to send them to an early grave. They rather die than listen to women. Scary-ish. So yeah, while women were locked down, men were over here listening to Kevin Samuels, who is over here promoting DV, SA, PDF. And women have been trapped, locked in under the same roof with the same men that were listening to that shit.
What the hell do you mean? What the hell do you mean that it's cohesive and that men and women should stay together? Because when their ass couldn't go nowhere, men was kicking their ass. Men was whooping their ass during COVID. And you want to know what else I found out? Incest shot up.
Yep.
Incest shot up.
Wasn't Kevin Samuels the one that was giving advice to a woman? And he told the woman that you shouldn't question me looking at your daughter if she gets out of the shower. This the same man that's questioning women on his platform, saying you shouldn't question me. You shouldn't question me if I look at your daughter when she's out the shower. This stuff that what these podcasters that have been inspired by people like Kevin Samuels, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Because men are highly submissive. They're highly submissive to other men. The Tony Gaskin video. I played that Tony Gaskin video for y'all when that man said that man's been married for 20 years. And he literally said that it only took 2 to 3 minutes of him listening to Kevin Samuels for him to look at his wife sideways. Because subconsciously, these men hate you. Hate you. And all it takes is for them to listen to 2 to 3 minutes of a man telling them that it's okay for you to hate a woman and not like a woman for them to want to harm you. This stuff that these men are listening to in these podcasts, it's dangerous.
But y'all want to hoorah, 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 hoorah. You don't want to actually have an intelligent discussion. Because y'all so used to this bullshit that you do on the internet day in and day out, arguing with unintellectual people. Stupid motherfuckers having the same conversation for 20 goddamn years. Saying the same bullshit you've been saying for 20 fucking years. And guess what? The world done got worse. The world has gotten worse since you've been having this conversation.
Yep.
Clearly the shit that you talking ain't working. It ain't the answer.
Because I had even looked it up. I literally had looked it up because I had started noticing all of these stories. You know, there were two doctors. There were 2 women, Black women, got admitted to become doctors, and both of their exes unalived them. The Kenyan runner unalived. This summer, women that were getting degrees, women that were very, very successful as athletes, getting unalived by their partners and even their ex-partners. And so I was like, I need to look this up. Femicide went through the roof during the pandemic. And that's around the same time that all of this red pill stuff gained prominence on the internet.
Still talking this high value man shit. Then I tell you, he gonna talk about we mix because we can have babies. Let me tell you, roaches have babies. Fucking rats have babies. Rats and roaches have babies. And one of the things that they called them in the hood was goddamn hood rats.
Yep.
And the projects was nothing but a Universe 25 rat experiment. If y'all don't mind, can you get the likes up? I appreciate it.
I blocked him.
Universe 25, John Calhoun's Rat Utopia experiment, that was a rat project, which is the reason why y'all ain't nothing but hood rats and having hood rat ass conversations. Patriarchy does not work. It is the root of all of your problems. Locking women in the house with a man sends domestic violence rates through the roof. You didn't make them, Ray Ray. You probably ain't make nothing but some illegitimate kids running around here that you ain't taking care of. Shut the fuck up. Don't come over here trying to take credit for other people's works and ideas. Because let me tell you something one more time. Let me tell you something one more time. Why you think you doing shit without a woman. I don't know why y'all coming over here with that same mess. I will say it again. The men who have accumulated great fortunes and achieved outstanding recognition in literature, art, industry, and architecture, and the professions were motivated by the influence of a woman. Motivated by the influence of a woman. Intemperance in sex habits is just as detrimental as intemperance in habits of drinking and eating. In this age in which we live, an age which became with the World War, intemperance in habits of sex is common. This orgy of indulgence may account for the shortage of great leaders. This indulgence in sex may account for the shortage in great leaders. I'm trying to figure out why reckless Peter Whacker holders that ain't got shit going for themselves be trying to take credit for other men's achievements when these suckers barely even got a goddamn GED. Barely even have a GED. Man is the only creature on earth which violates nature's purpose in this connection. Man is the only creature on earth which violates nature's purpose in this connection. Every other animal indulges in sex nature in moderation and with purpose, which harmonizes with the laws of nature. Man's inclination is to declare open season. Man's inclination is to declare open season. A sex mad man is not essentially different than a dope mad man. Both have lost control over their faculties of reason and willpower. Can't no dick crazy person, an irresponsible Peter Whacker holder, tell me shit. You have lost your reasoning faculties. You lost your willpower because y'all are sex hounds and everything that you base your life on is sex. Well, how we gonna have sex? How we gonna make babies? Babies that you throw away.
Thank you. Arguing that men and women shouldn't be separate. And what did I say? I literally said that. I said, he's arguing the fact that men and women should not be separate because he's complaining that he won't be able to have access to sex. Of course, he would never say that, but that's what he was arguing. We shouldn't be separate. We shouldn't be separate. Yeah, because then you're not going to be able to fuck anyone. You're not going to be able to fuck women if we're separate. That's why. That's all they care about. That's all they care about. Talking about two-parent home and the kids benefit when there's a two-parent home. No, they fucking don't. No, they fucking don't. You want to be able to have a woman to live under the same roof as you so you can have access to sex whenever it is that you want. That's what it's all about. They don't want to live under the same roof as women to love you and cherish you and make your life easier. They want to live under the same roof as you to ruin your life, disrespect you, put you in harm's way while they get what they want, while they benefit in some way.
Babies that you cause pain to. Right? Now, if I say this straight up out my mouth, you're going to disagree with me. Some, not all, just a few. That ain't what Think and Grow Rich say. Napoleon Hill. I don't know why y'all act like I'm stupid. You disrespecting my intelligence because you think I'm one of these pissy tail head ass girls that you can dominate. You can't dominate me intellectually. And I'm not one of these bitches that want you. I'm not chasing your validation. I don't care about your approval. See, only children date men. Little girls date men. Having a crush on a male, that's little girl shit. Because most of them are not men. They sex-crazed males who have no self-discipline and have no direction in life. Most of these suckers wouldn't have nothing if they didn't have a damn podcast. They wouldn't have shit. When driven by his desire to please a woman sexually, when driven by his desire to please a woman based solely upon the emotion of sex, a man may be and usually is capable of great achievement, but his actions may be disorganized, distorted, and totally destructive. When driven by his desire to please a woman based upon the emotion of sex alone, a man may steal, cheat, and even commit murder. All because of your intemperance and sex addictions. But you don't respect a woman enough to listen to her. Now, I could say these very same things without showing this book, and a motherfucker will gaslight me. I read it directly from the book, and what can you say? Because a man, this is from a man, right? This is the most widely accepted book amongst the successful. But I don't have no credibility because I'm a woman, right? That don't know shit, right? And the only way for a male to quote unquote dominate me in a conversation is to not let me talk.
Yep.
Let me just say you're illogical, even though you ain't said nothing that didn't make no sense. Let me just throw that out there. The same way that Charleston White did when he was getting his ass handed in that conversation. When he was getting his ass handed to him. Don't listen to a woman with no man. Boom, that's all you got to say, and now I'm discredited, right? I don't know shit because all he had to do was say that. That's all he had to say. And you think I respect any of you penis holders? You think I would be crying in my sleep because I don't have you in my ear? You too dumb. You have no ethics. You have no morality. You have no dignity. You have no sense. I'm not the one to fuck with. I'm telling you. Now you can run that shit on any of these other dumb women, but you can't run it on me because I'm actually educated, sir. I actually read. And I actually have humanity's best interest at heart.
And you wonder why they don't want you educated. And you wonder why they say, we don't care about your degrees. You shouldn't be that proud of your education, because they don't want shit like this to happen. They don't want shit like this to happen because when you're educated, you actually know what the fuck is going on. And with knowledge, you're able to make decisions and choices in your best interest. When you have no education, when you have no knowledge, you don't know what's good and what's not good for you. And yes, exactly. She's 100% right. That's why he started out with that degree talk, because he was trying to discredit her. He was trying to discredit her.
When driven by his desire to please a woman based upon the motive of sex alone, a man may steal, cheat, and even commit murder. But when the emotion of love is mixed with the emotion of sex, the same man will guide his actions with more sanity, balance, and reason. Right. This is how you know that the majority of males are elementary. Here they come. You get cooked. You get cooked. How? Because you ain't handling the thing. He got you. Right. The key to winning for a male is to beat up on a woman. Hold on. Let me. Just so we can. Okay. Okay. We just. For the they respect me, I'll let him speak.
See, I'm saying that men are incapable. Listen, and guess what? Listen. Man, bitch, I kick your ass as my woman. Love you while I'm kicking you in your ass. Y'all see what? This is my definition of love. Love is not what you can give. It's about what you can take. Our mothers took a lot. It ain't about what you can give. It's about what you can take. About what you can take.
How much you endure? You're saying how much you endure?
That's why Dr. King was who he was and what he was, and his kids never knew him. Why he cheated on his wife, and his wife never mumbled one word. Granddad was a sorry motherfucker. At some point, he grew out of being sorry. And boy, he's sitting over there. He's the best daddy she can be, and she's the best grandmother. Put his ass in the ground, and she go live and travel the world good. But he was a rotten motherfucker for 20 years out of them 30, out of them 40.
So as I said, when a man tells
Listen, it ain't my fault that males lead in violent crime per the FBI. I don't know why you want me to sit up here and just stroke your ego. Oh, I just can't wait to give me some of that big black daddy dick. Oh, I just can't see myself without a man. You black king, our kings, Hercules. Nigga, I'm not a pick-me. I don't understand what you want me to say. Tell me your life story, sir. What's your highest degree, sir? How much money you got in the bank, right? Why you can't get through life, right? Is the white man fault? Is it your mama fault? Is it your girlfriend fault? I'm ready to hear these excuses, because based on your picture, you don't look like you got shit going for yourself, sir. Based on your picture, you don't look like you got shit going for yourself, sir. But you want me to get up here, Hercules, our black kings. If you ain't realized, black folks need to do better. I'm speaking specifically to black folks. You need to do better. I don't understand why you up here acting like you running a Fortune 500 company, sir. When you fit in one of these 41 shades of men, I'm trying to figure out which shade you are, sir. Because I'm not opening my womb to none of you, okay? And what I look like getting the validation of somebody who ain't achieved shit. Ask your mama to Hercules. Don't come over here asking no content creator that speaks scientific goddamn sense, right? And speaks about testosterone and all that stuff. Don't come over here asking me to cheerlead for you. I don't even know you, sir. That's your mama's job. And the bitch that you fucking, that's her job. The one that ain't got no sense. That's still letting you in her womb when she should have closed them goddamn legs.
A man telling you that love is about what you can take. It's about what you can take. They fucking hate you. They literally, this is why they're always saying, oh, you need to sacrifice. You need to endure. They want us to be punching bags. They want us to be punching bags and they want us to be fucking happy about it. They want us to be happy about that. Sickening. It's demonic. I would really go as far as to say that it's demonic. What Charleston White said, that's 100% demonic. Let me make you my punching bag, and your worth is going to be determined on how much I can hurt you and how much you can go through. Because that's their life. Because that's what other men tell them to do. You're a man based off of how much your life sucks. You're a man based off of how much you could take. I had an ex-boyfriend, and I used to tell my ex-boyfriend that I used to say, I feel like you trying to make me into a man. I would tell him that. I feel like you trying to turn me into a man and make me into a man. Shut up crying. Stop crying. Wipe your tears. Grow up. I'm not a fucking man. And just because your father, your teachers, any other man in your life is doing that to you, don't mean you need to be doing that to fucking women. Because everything that they're doing to you is what someone else has done to them. And that's the reason why they're saying it to you. Because men are out here hurting other men, and that's all they know. All men know is struggle. All men know is sadness, unhappiness. And that's why Princella said, that's why they're unaliving themselves. Misery loves company. Men hate their lives. They fucking hate their lives and are extremely jealous of women. Extremely jealous of women. They want to call you materialistic for enjoying the luxuries of life. They want to call it a waste for you to go get an education so you can have more opportunity. These men want to shame you for doing everything that makes you feel good, that makes you happy, because they're not happy and they don't want to do anything to ever become happy. All they want to do is have a life of destruction and unhappiness and make everyone else around them unhappy. And then wonder why there's a lonely pandemic, male loneliness pandemic. Don't nobody want to be around their asses because they're terrible. They're terrible people and they have no shame about it. Have no shame about it.
I'm trying to figure out all these pick-me's out here, and you want me to sing your praises when there's plenty of these dick crazy bitches that'll do it. So anyway, I know y'all ready to call in. Let me read some of my super chats, and then I'll let y'all call in. But y'all,
okay, I'm gonna end it there. Yeah. That was pretty insane because it's like, these are the men that other men are listening to. As a matter of fact, let me go back and let's look at what the comment section says on the original video. Come on. She keeps losing. LOL. This is horrible. She has a 0-4 record when it comes to talking to men who can't articulate their points. This motherfucker thought that this Fugazi guy was articulating his points. In what regard did this man ever articulate a point? My son went to one of the most prestigious all-boys schools in the country. I wouldn't have changed his education for anything. Boys and girls should be in separate schools. She got 36 replies, and I already know it's going to be a bunch of men punching the wall, pissed off as hell, because I even liked it. They ain't hearing you, because if the schools are separated, the boys would have no choice but to focus on their education, self-discipline, and not chasing girls. Because that's all men want to do. All men want to do is have no discipline, disrupt things, and get nothing done. And then want to slap on the wrist for it. They need us. They need us because we can always be a distraction to them. We can always be a distraction to them. This is an anecdotal comment, so your comment means nothing. Additionally, I looked up one of the best all-boys schools, and the president was ousted over sexual misconduct claims 3 years ago. What school did your son go to? Hater. You see how far men are willing to go to discredit women and discredit what women are saying, even if it's factual. This man went as far as to fucking look. This motherfucker probably ain't even looked up a doctor to go see for himself. And he over here looking up the best all boys school and then investigating the charges that the professor or whoever it was that he's claiming have for allegations. Men will go this far to discredit a woman, but won't go far to get a college degree. Won't go far to find a type of field that they love in order to make money. Won't go far to go take care of their children. Won't go far to not lift their hand to go hit a woman. But they'll go this far. They'll go this far to look up shit to try to prove you wrong. He did have several people disagreeing with him. Ad hominem attacks are irrelevant. Coolly, you have to be patient and let people finish their response. Try getting a pen and pencil and noting the points you disagree with. Thank you. As a first-time viewer of this channel, I'm embarrassed for you, sir. You fighting for your life in these comments. Just read the room. When she said roaches reproduce, he was hella tight. Horrible analogy. Because it was. Because men want to be on the lowest level. Men want to be on the lowest level. Well, what about reproducing? What about reproducing? What about having babies? It ain't about no fucking babies. They're not even sticking around to raise babies, to raise children. Has nothing to do with the babies. Has everything to do with them being in proximity to women to be able to sleep with them. That's what it's all about. That's all they care about. As long as they have access to sleep with women, they don't care. Cooley is trying to work the conversation in his favor instead of just having it. Also, you overtalk too much and it's annoying. It could have been a good conversation, though. You should have time sessions where both parties can speak. You kept cutting her off. You could have let her speak, then ask her questions afterwards. You can come off so smart until you start looking dumb because of your lack of listening things through, then rebuttal. Damn, Cooley, you ain't let her finish. You didn't let her finish anything she was saying. It's like she can't get a word in. You keep cutting her off. Like you love to hear yourself talk. Ain't nobody agreeing with this man. Ain't nobody agreeing with this man in the fucking comments because he was losing a debate. He didn't have anything to back up his talking points. So he resorted to being a child, talking over you, raising your voice. Calling you illogical. You're illogical. You're emotional. Men are cowards. They run from other men and take it out on women to prove their own manhood. Exactly. Because you ain't no fucking man. If you ain't no fucking man, if the person underneath you is directly a woman, you ain't no fucking man. When you're punching down, you're not a man. When you're punching down on a woman, you're not a man. Punch down on another man, and then you can call yourself a man. See how men straighten up when you walk out? Exactly. They respect you more when you walk out. They do. They respect you more when you walk out. Because guess what? You think a man finna let you talk to him like that? You think a man finna let you cut him off, cheat on him, give him an STD, and stay? Because he's not. These men want you to endure the same thing from them that they would never endure from you. They expect you to stick around through cheating and infidelity. The second that you decide to cheat, they out without a single thought. No one is agreeing with him. Oh my gosh, she can't get a word in edgewise. This man can't see himself from seeing himself. Learn how to have a conversation. Damn, this could have been good, but he talks too much and interrupts way too much. It wasn't her. It was you, dude. Too much ego. Too much ego. Men are supposed to compete with each other, with other men, but they can't, so they punch down. Exactly. Exactly, because they're weak. They're weak and lazy. They don't want to do what's required to compete with other men. They don't want to do what's required to compete with other men. They want to skate by through life. They want to skate by through life going through the least path of resistance and then beg while they're on the path. They want to be on the path of least resistance and beg on the whole entire path. Take a chance on me. You should take a chance on me. You don't need to have a type. What if the man of your dreams doesn't turn out to be the one how you want him to look? How much money you want them to make? They're always trying to force you to compromise in some way. They are begging you to settle and give them a chance because they don't have and they refuse to do what it takes to actually qualify and be likable and be wanted, which is why they want to roll back rights for women to make it so that we turn into cattle to be breeded. They doing no fault divorce. They want to do no fault divorce. So you're stuck in a marriage that you hate. That way men can still have a purpose. Because the only way that men have a purpose is when they take rights from women. That's the only way. That's the only way. Someone needs to make a study on the Humble Women podcast business. Men simping for other men have made this a multi-million-dollar industry. This is their new college degree. And the reason why it's a multi-million-dollar industry is because men finally have a platform and men finally have a space where they can say what it is that they've been thinking. Because see, before they just talk about this shit in the barbershop. Talk about this shit in the barbershop and maybe at the crib when they, I don't know, doing all their little ghetto activities, dumb activities. And yes, I believe that all men are at least bisexual. At least bisexual. A lot of the way those men simp in the comments for other men, they like men. They like men. They can start with emotional intelligence and empathy. And that's the thing. They don't want to be likable. They don't want to be likable because they know that they're evil. They know that they're evil people. I'm so glad we can see what they really think now. And that's the thing that men don't understand. Men think they're getting all this empowerment by talking shit about women, and they don't even realize that if all y'all are doing is talking shit about women, why would we want to talk to you if this is how you really feel? They wonder why the birth rate is dropping. They wonder why there's a male loneliness pandemic or epidemic. Because we can see what the fuck they're actually saying and what they actually think about women. Why would women want to choose to be with a species who's making it very clear that they don't like us? Because they don't like us. They only like us for what we can do for them. And this is why I find it so funny when men are like, women are transactional. No one cares about men. Only people care about our women, children, and animals. That's all that society cares about. No one cares about us. Extremely entitled. Didn't you see those blokes on a podcast laughing about not loving or being in love with their wife? Yeah. I put that clip in my Humbling Women video. I did. I put that clip in there. Aw, bathing my cat while listening on Bluetooth. LOL. Ha, love you ladies. Aw, Desiree, love you too. Why would we care about terrorists? Exactly. Exactly. These podcasts are the angered, rejected men's tea party. Exactly. Exactly. These are men who got rejected in second grade by their first crush and they never recovered. They never recovered. And then they were lames in high school. No one wanted them in high school. They looked tore up in high school, unpopular. Went to college, couldn't finish college, wasn't smart enough to go to college. Now they working at the call center, they working at the factory plant, hurting their back, working where it's 150 degrees. It's hot as hell. They back is hurting, their hands are calloused, gray hair. Let me get my phone out. Let me see what Fresh and Fit talking about. Yup, 304. Yup. Yup. We don't love these hoes. Did you see the video of that woman regretting marriage and motherhood? I don't know, because I've seen several videos of women saying that, so I don't know if we're thinking about the same video. The weird part is that even men that are successful are acting like this, like there is no hope. Exactly. The amount of money these men make, it doesn't cure their misogyny. Like men, like the thing about it is that I think a lot of women don't realize men are trained to hate women, because everything that a man is taught about his identity is just to be everything anti-woman. I was watching a podcast earlier. It was actually one that MTR had covered, and I was watching it. And it was two men and a woman, and the podcast title was like "Why Men Deserve Less" or "Why Men Deserve Nothing." And it was good discourse. It was a cool conversation. And I went in the comments, and there was a man, because in the podcast the men were saying I feel like. And there was a comment from a man that said, as an African American man, I'm disappointed by the men saying I feel like, because that's very feminine. What is going on with these men being feminized? That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. You didn't hold that woman accountable. I wasted my time watching this podcast because you didn't hold women accountable. AKA, I wasted my time watching this because I saw two men treat a woman like she's a human and had a normal, proper conversation with her. And I didn't get an opportunity to watch you embarrass, berate, and belittle a person, a woman. Because that's the only discourse that they want to see between men and women. All they want to see is men disrespecting women. They don't want to see men and women have a proper conversation, an intelligent conversation, a conversation that has a lot of solutions, that offers up hope. They don't want to see that. Honestly, at this point, I think Shira's tips are for having extra money on the side, but we need to have our own skills, degrees, and money, like for our own safety. I agree. This is as someone who lived that life, y'all already know I danced, I had sugar daddies. I lived that sprinkle life already. And the thing about it is that Shira's married. Okay, Shira's 45. Shira's been married for almost 20 years. So, and yeah, she's educated. Mortician, chef, she's educated, highly educated. But the man she got ain't the men that are out here now. And the man she got wasn't listening to the shit that these men are listening to now. There's something really wrong with the manosphere garbage. Agreed. But yeah, I 100% agree with that. 100% agree with that. Because the thing about it is that you don't know what these men's intentions are. You really don't know what these men's intentions are these days because of this rhetoric that's getting spilled out to these men. And men are straight up telling you, and women are coming out. I mean, women have lost, their marriages have crumbled because of the red pill shit. Friendships have crumbled over the red pill shit. Siblings have crumbled over them watching this stuff. It's just, I mean, it's very, very destructive. You don't know what these men's intentions are when they're watching this shit. You have no idea. And even for me, I'm like, the money is not even worth it. The sprinkle is not even worth it. I'm cool. I got my own money. I'll be good. I'll be the rich man. I'll be the rich man and figure it out on my own. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. That's true, but she has been married for a long time. Yeah, she's been married for a long, long, long time. Very, very long time. But no, none of that is worth it to me. None of that is worth it to me. And this is the reason why I'm always going to push get your education. Get your education and make you some money. Get an education and make you some money. Because a lot of the time, at this point in time, these men have no problem. These men that are really, really misogynistic, they will become a provider for a woman just to control her. Just to do what Fugazi did to Princella. And you ain't got no place to go. No money saved up. And you got kids. You always need to have something of your own. I didn't know about that No Fugazi podcast from her platform because I have not been watching her recently. I haven't been watching her. So, yeah. I saw your community post. Please make a stream about education. Okay. Yes, men has changed from a new era, and especially since KS, it got worse. Right. I will make my own money. Never wanted marriage. Yes, because it's getting too dangerous out here. It's getting too dangerous out here. These men are on these dating apps, and these men are fucking criminals. These men are giving the wrong name, giving the wrong ages, lying about them being married, lying about them having children, lying about all types of stuff. It's getting too dangerous out here to be dealing with these men. And with how everything is happening politically, what's happened politically is that it's now giving men more entitlement to feel comfortable having these acts of violence, having these harmful ideologies against women. Exactly. Just because he provides fully doesn't mean he doesn't hate you. Exactly. Exactly. Teach, get your education. Men because a provider just to kick you out for another woman. Yeah, it's not stable. It's not stable. It's not stable. Like I know, trust me, I know a handful of women who have a provider man, and let me tell you, I would not want to trade places with them because they're paying. Because that's the thing, even if you get someone with money, and I'm not saying that if someone wants to date, they should date someone broke. But a man having money ain't gonna get rid of his misogyny. A man having money ain't gonna get rid of his cheating tendencies. You know, a man having money ain't gonna get rid of his lustful desires. It's not gonna get rid of all of that. It's not. You may not have to pay in paying your bills, but you're gonna have to pay in another way. Costs way more than it's worth. Yeah, I did that already. I had a provider man. Do not recommend. Do not recommend. I don't recommend it. Yeah. Shira met James at 22, married by 25 or 26, and she's in her 40s now. I think she's 45 or 46. And like I said, she got one of them old school gentlemen, you know what I mean, that haven't been indoctrinated. They haven't watched all this indoctrination. If it costs your peace, it's too expensive. Exactly. Why is it that they never grow up? The reason why they never grow up is because Princella talks about this. So the X chromosome, right? I think of it like this. Shira's husband doesn't work now. Well, I'm sure he don't work now. Shira probably out-earning him. Shira out-earning him at this point. His ass probably retired. She the breadwinner now. Shira the breadwinner now. She out-earning him. I know she is. The reason why men don't grow up is because, how do I explain it? It's a dysfunction in their chromosome. It's a dysfunction in their chromosome. So we have two X chromosomes. And I made a video about it on TikTok because TikTok has censored me No one really got a chance to see it. But this is the reason why men ask you what you bring to the table. The reason why men ask women what women bring to the table is because I don't have a pen. We have two X chromosomes, okay? So two X chromosomes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's 4 legs on a table. The table that, well, my table don't got legs because it's like a little desk thingy majig. It's a table. It's got 4 legs. It's a stable table. So we have 2 tables. We have 2 tables with 4 legs on it. Men have an XY chromosome. So they got one table, and then they got a table that's missing a leg. They got one table that's missing a leg. So of course they're going to be dumber. They're going to be lower up. They're going to have a emotional immaturity, lack of emotional intelligence. They're going to be lacking in everything because they're missing a whole leg to their table in the Y chromosome. Y chromosome is a mutation. That is a mutation. Exactly. One X chromosome has over 900 genes each. Exactly. Larger, more differentiated, heavier genetic material. Society doesn't make men accountable. Society makes it possible for men to do the bare minimum and be praised for having a peen and doing the bare minimum. They take no accountability at all. Hold on. Let me scroll up. PhD piled higher and deeper. He said that to my face when I told him I got a MS to go to work in a field that would help my daughter with Crohn's disease. Oh my gosh. And that man said that. Something's wrong with him. Their minds have been corrupted. It's sad. There are now more men around James' age that looked and act and sound no different than the current red pill generation we're in because they're listening to that shit too. They're listening to that shit too. It's always women talking about self-love, self-care, therapy, never men. 75% of therapy clients are women. Men refuse to go to therapy. They refuse to go to therapy. They refuse to get the help that they so desperately need, and it's harming the world. Yes, I agree, Lucky. I don't date men in the late 60s and in his 70s. They are less into this red pill crap. Yes. He's aggravating me. Who's aggravating you, girl? Men try to be nature. Yes. Oh, wow. You got an MS to work in the pharmaceutical field. Wow. Well, congratulations. Congratulations. But he did you a favor because the man that said that, he did you a favor because no. At this point, it's up to women to disengage. Yes, it is. Because it's getting too risky. It's getting too harmful. Why are they so against balance with the matriarchy and the patriarchy? It's pretty much what Princella said. Men want a hierarchy system, okay? And they want to be able to be the top of the chain within that hierarchy system. If we separate between a matriarch and a patriarch, that will force men to compete with other men. So their hierarchy system will only be composed of men, and they will be at the bottom because it's like 10% to 90% when it comes to men in power. So they have to leverage the idea of having a matriarch and a patriarch together because patriarch always has it where because you're a man, just because you're a man, you're at the top of the hierarchy. And then because you're a woman, you're below the man. They don't want to compete with other men. And then they also don't want to give up their access to schmecks with women. But man's greatest fear is to be at the bottom of the hierarchy. Their greatest fear is to be at the bottom of the hierarchy. That's why on the red pill content, they're always complaining about, well, 20% of women go after 80% of men. It's not fair. Women should give us average men a chance. That's because the patriarchy lied to them. The patriarchy lied to them and promised them a wife. And they're seeing and understanding that it was a lie, and now they're mad about it. 80% of women have to deal with 20% of men, because if we don't, and we haven't been, the thing about it is that we haven't been, because we have been indoctrinated to just get a man and not really care so much about standards. That's why we have a world full of morons. We have a world full of morons because we were not trained to be picky about what genetics we're going to pass on. Now we have no choice. This is why everyone's closing up their legs. This is why the birth rate is declining. Because no one is trying to open up their legs to a broke man, to a man with no emotional intelligence, to a man that doesn't understand how to manage his emotion, to a man that doesn't understand how to be a partner. No one wants to procreate with that. No woman wants to open up her legs to that. Now that we see what it really, really is, no women want to do that. So women don't care about the birth rate dropping. Women don't worry about having a baby to contribute to society. You're going to be making a bunch of morons with what we have, because that's all that's out there. It ain't nothing out there but a bunch of morons. So you're going to be creating with a moron, and then you're going to pump out another moron. "4B movement, please." Yes, because they don't want to better themselves. Exactly. Because it will be harder for them if women truly participated in selective mating. Exactly. They want to be able to have access to women. And they hate the fact that women are willing to go for the top amount of men, but that's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to do. If it was their daughter, I guarantee you they would not be telling their daughter to go just go sleep with anyone, go procreate with anyone. If it was their daughter, their sister, they wouldn't be telling them that. They wouldn't be telling them that. What's worse about it is that patriarchy is that it's an added tool utilized by toxic narc people to use for more power and dominance to their perceived victims. It's so very diabolical. Exactly. This is the part. Men won't listen to women, and so because they won't listen to women, they're never even going to know that part. They're never even going to understand that part. The patriarchy system was literally created so that men in power could tell average men what to do, so that way average men could build their empire for them. Men don't understand that they're happy slaves. They are happy slaves. They are willing slaves to men of power. And you know this because of the election results and the demographic of who voted for who they voted for. They are happy and willing to be slaves. Okay, let's get rid of this guy. Men cheat on their partners and then say they would unalive if someone did that to their daughter. What an insult to the woman that they are with. Exactly. That contributes to society stuff is them just trying to manipulate women. Exactly. I'm going to contribute to society, and what is society going to give me back? What is society giving me back if I contribute to society with a baby? What are they giving me? Oh, that's right. They're giving me 90 days of time off. That's not paid. They're giving me 1 day at the hospital to recover before they send me home with my baby. With no help, with no care or anything like that. Yes, men are the true submissives. It is all projection. Yes, men are submissive. Women are not. Men are submissive. If men were not submissive, what is going on in the world right now wouldn't be happening. All these complaints that men have about what's going on in the world, none of this would be happening. But men had the power first. When it came to this patriarchal system, men had the power first. We've only had rights for 50 years. We've only had rights for 50 years. So we haven't had a say so in anything that has happened within the before 50 years. Before 50 years ago. We didn't have any power. So everything that is happening now in the world was based off of men being okay with the decisions that were made to get us to the point where we are. They're the reasons why it's like this, because they submitted to all of this. Hold on, there's someone else. I can't believe all these men are popping in like this. I'm not paying attention to the chat while I'm ranting. Hold on, I'm trying to look. Why is it always a man in a suit? You fucking rip off Kevin Samuels. You fucking want to be Kevin Samuels? Oh, so do you guys have to call him Kitten Heels? Is that like the code name? Because I saw that before. I saw Kitten Heels before earlier in the chat. I wonder if it's the same guy with different screen names. Oh, that's his nickname. Okay. I don't know why, but I could totally see him cross-dressing. Like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like I could just open up my closet and I would see him in my dress with like red lipstick on. I don't know why, but it's like I could just picture. Let me stop. Let me stop talking on that man that ain't here no more. Zesty Kitten Heels Samuel. Let me stop talking on that man that ain't living no more. He's Kitten Heels because he wears shoes with lips. That's right. That's right. Men in suits does nothing for me. Not impressed. Where's that wallet? Where is it at? Useless. Exactly. They think they're so big and bad with their suit on. He got called out on the I'm just gonna say he podcast and ended the interview. Y'all gotta send me this stuff, please. Like, please, if there's any content that's juicy, please send it to me. Queen Sovereign Being, please send it. Please send it. Because I know someone mentioned Lapeef earlier. Someone had said Princella the Queen Maker did something with Lapeef. I never heard of that person before. I think that's what they said the content creator's name is. It was on Lapeef Network. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay, I just found it. Someone wanted me to do Lapeef, and then also someone wanted me to do the podcast or the Passport Bro. Someone wanted me to do the Passport Bro and then the Lapeef Network. I'm writing this down so I can remember. She tore them up on a live about leadership. If these men are so happy, why are they in our spaces? Get out. They're obsessed with us. That's why. Girl, it's the same reason. It's the same reason why No Fugazi said that he don't want schools. He don't want schools separated by gender, and he don't want men and women living apart because they're obsessed with us. Some people call him worm food too. Damn. Bro dressed for church when he took that pic. Oh, Cynthia G gave him that name, Kitten Heels. Men with zesty fashion sense are always sus and usually misogynistic because they secretly want to be us. Oh, wait, I just described the late Kevin Samuels. God damn. God damn. Yes, do commentary on the viral Chad to Dad Passport Bro and his soon-to-be ex-Filipino wife. I will, because you know what? I actually do. I have the TikTok saved and everything from when it like first happened, and like his commentary and her commentary about what happened. Because at first I was gonna do it, but I was kind of like, sometimes I have emotional reactions to the content that I make alone, and then I dismiss it because I was upset because I don't know if there's any updates, but I know she made a video saying that she was going to stay with him, or that she had no choice but to stay with him. And so I was just like, oh, but I'll cover it. I'll cover it. But y'all, I'm going to end this. I'm going to end this. I have to take my ass back to work tomorrow, unfortunately. I already have an idea. I will be on live tomorrow. So it'll be like 6:30 p.m. that I'm going to start hopping on here for the next like 2-ish weeks. I'll be on here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have like a really funny, it's a story. So it's not like a video or anything, but it was a really juicy story that I found. So I think the content tomorrow will be really good as well. I had such a good time with you all. Oh, let me read this. Men don't like acknowledging women's intelligence. Same way Princella had purpose and resilience on, and a question was asked both ways. QP asked him to answer first. He did, but it was just shallow. Yes. She said she was going to stay with him until her second trimester. Then she's going home to be supported by her family. She's pregnant with baby number 3. Jesus. But yeah, we'll cover that. We'll cover that. And I'm glad you found my channel too. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Please make sure you smash the subscribe button. And when you subscribe, make sure you click the notification bell. That way you'll get notified when I post new content. Okay. Once again, a wonderful night with you all. Oh, thank you. Your content is amazing, just like you. Y'all are so sweet. But I will see y'all back tomorrow, 6:30. And I hope you ladies have a wonderful night and a wonderful day tomorrow. Bye.